Just think, Kevin Carius has been traveling and into sports since before TikTok, Twitter, texting, and we may have made that. Check out Carius in the mornings on Sports 1440. Your games next week.
Subaru is built for winter. Symmetrical all-wheel drive delivers power with incredible control, stability, and grip. Add 220 millimeters of grip and you're not getting stuck in snowbanks. You'll drive right through them. And inside, luxurious heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Plus, for 19 years in a row, Subaru vehicles have earned top safety pick status, giving you unmatched peace of mind. Subaru is engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Welcome to Uncommon Standards.
Astronaut trying to search for him off the top of the net. And the rebound. Nugent Hopkins looking to spring McDavid. He does. That's a breakaway. Extends to a 3-1 lead.
$10,000 to support your
Hockey league. And Edmonton takes a
Let's
2-1 lead.
together. Applications are open until
To try-
January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Games 21st, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at TAP 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
The Jason Gregor Show.
David.
The Jason Gregor Show.
David and drop settle on the right side. David in front. Nugent Hopkins. Nothing Edmonton. Power play goal. Nugent Hopkins
On Sports 1440.
to Draisaitl. Sit in the mix. Jones freed up, shoots, and a save. Rebounds. His first in the National Hockey League. Edmonton takes a 2-1 lead.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Nugent Hopkins looking to spring McDavid. He does. It's a breakaway. Edmonton extends to a 3-1 lead on the captain's 21st.
Positive Friday. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you've taken a little extra time to get home today or wherever you're going. I know some schools are out at noon, so it's a little chaotic on the road. So serenity now. Give yourself a little extra time. And you know what? That maybe just means a little bit more time with us in your car or in your office. So, could be worse things for you. Could be worse things. Lots better things too, but could be worse things for sure. How are you? I'm Jason Gregor alongside Connor Halley, Declan Kruger running things at Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Sports 1440. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Say hello to the D-Man in the comments section. And away we go on a positive Friday. There's lots of things to be positive about. Oiler fans, you were a little like if we would rewind to November 19th, and you'd be like, you know what? I'm not loving where the Oilers are at. Right, a month ago, the Oilers were sitting in outside of a playoff spot, actually in 11th place. And now they are comfortably in a playoff spot, 2 points out of the division lead. Now, Vegas does have 3 games in hand, so We got to take that for what it's worth. But the Oilers suddenly have this. Remember when the Oilers couldn't win a regulation game, save their life early on? Well, now they've got the same amount of regulation wins as Vegas and Anaheim. And only Vegas has more goals in the division than the Edmonton Oilers. Only Colorado and Anaheim have more goals on the season in the Western Conference than the Edmonton Oilers. Well, actually, really in the NHL, because the East doesn't have any of the top dogs when it comes to goals for. So Colorado, Anaheim, Dallas, Edmonton, the top 4 teams in goals for in the NHL this year. The Boston Bruins, who the Oilers limited to only 1 goal last night, are 5th. So the Oilers shut down a team. Now, I will say this. The Boston Bruins, that might have been the most passive neutral zone forecheck I'd see. Like, they were just sitting back. Like Marco Sturm said, you know what? I remember when I played for the Kings. You know what? Let's just try to be. Guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can beat the Oilers if you're aggressive and pressure them. You sit back and be passive. I think it actually plays in the Oilers' hands. Ask the LA Kings. Doesn't work. The Florida Panthers, aggressive. They never sat back. I am stunned when I see teams sit back. You're just like, you're going to play a game to think, well, you know what? We'll create an extra chance. Do you realize who's on the other team? 97. He doesn't need many opportunities. Look at last night, shorthanded. Scores. Great play from him and Nugent Hopkins. And hey, what about Quinn Hudson? Goes to Boston University for a few years, plays his first game in Boston, scores his first NHL goal. It was a nice goal. It's a big goal. It's a game winner. So thrilled for him and a much needed scoring depth for the Edmonton Oilers. Unfortunately, they lose Tristan Jarry. He is now he's back in Edmonton today. He flew home. He's going to get reevaluated. My understanding is, I know he was injured in Pittsburgh. My understanding is this is the opposite side. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe we'll have to get Grant on the show. It looked like it was a strain. And I talked to a few of my doctor buddies, not Struddy. I know he's pre-med, but he doesn't have the expertise. A lot of them thought it was a strain, either oblique, core, or your groin, depending on it. But how he moved across, that's what they thought, and that's kind of what they specialize in. So I'll take their word for it. And unfortunately for Jarry, he's out. And the Oilers have recalled Connor Ingram. So he's going to make his Oilers debut either tomorrow or Sunday against Vegas, which could be a question. Which game would you start him in? Tomorrow or Sunday. So we'll see. Calvin Pickard, though, came in on relief, and he was perfect. Made all the saves he needed to make. Probably a good boost for him. And so we'll see how long it is, but it's going to be Pickard and Ingram for the time being for the Edmonton Oilers for at least the next 3 games before Christmas time. They play Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. Then they don't play again until the following Saturday, the 27th, when they are in Calgary to take on the Flames. So there you have it. 833-401-1440 is our text line, 833-401-1440. It is our final pyramid of giving today. And today we're helping out Adopt a Teen. And I know this charity strikes a chord with lots of you who remember. I think when we're little, you don't remember it as much, but you definitely remember your teen years if it was tight in your family. You remember that. And like, teenage years are hard, even if things are good. So I can understand those teens who went through a tough time, and you know what, now you've been able to come out the other side. And every year, man, we get some really heartfelt emails from people who want to donate because, man, I remember being there, and you remember it as a teenager, and it's hard enough to fit in as a teen when things are going well. Imagine if you're in a household where you just don't have a lot, and it's Christmas time. And what's so great about Adopt a Teen is a lot of these teens who because they get a gift card, a lot of them actually spend the money on their mom or their dad, just to say thank you, and not even for themselves. So it's really awesome what you can do. So today, the drill: $100, $200, $500, or $1,000. We're looking for 15 people at 100, 10 people at 200, 4 people at 500, and 2 at $1,000. And in fact, this is actually, I just realized Sean has donated $1,000 every pyramid giving. Had a text come in today. Greg, it's Positive Friday. $1,000, please, for Adopt a Teen. Before he even came on the air, came in around 159. So thank you very much, Sean. So we already got $1,000. I love it. So you want in for 100 or 200, 5 or 1,000 for Adopt a Teen? You can text in 833-401-1440. So very easy. We're helping them out. And Joyce and Deb and the team there, they'll be calling you. They're ready to go. So we'll have some fun with that. Also today, and this happens once every few years, I don't get too personal, but unfortunately, we had something in one of our packages that was bid on earlier, and somebody had to bow out, and it's understandable. You never fully know what someone's going through at the time, so we're not here to judge. So we're going to put it back on the market, shall we say? I'll tell everybody what it was for, and if somebody wants to match that right now, we can just do it and be done with it, or we'll start and go again because I don't want to take the money away from the charity. It's the suite to the Oilers game against Nashville. So you get 12 people in the suite. You get the parking pass and a $500 food and beverage credit. It was actually a steal. It went for $5,000. Anybody who's ever bought a suite knows that that's way cheaper than what it is. So that's actually going for the Christmas Bureau, right? We'd kind of allocate that money. So hopefully we can get that to maybe even a little bit more today. It's Positive Friday. You're in a good mood, Oilers fans. The Oilers win again. What are they on? 6 of their last 8, 6-1-1. So that's the package we'll bid on, and we'll do the pyramid of giving. Conrad is in for 200. Aaron and Allison are in each at 100. And Tony. So there we go. Got a good start here. The first 5 minutes. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440, 100, 200, 500, or 1,000. Or if you want to, you can bid on the suite. And we got an opening bid of $1,200 on that. So there we go from Dean. Thank you very much. We are off and running on a Positive Friday. There's lots to get to today on the show. Joe O'Donnell will join us. The Wild. Hey, the Oilers are going to have a new guy. Well, they would have had Jari, but they don't. But Quinn Hughes is now on Minnesota. They've won 6 in a row. They're rolling. This will be a tough test tomorrow afternoon. Remember, it's an afternoon game. So we will have the pregame show right here, right after Paul Sir. So we got Hoop City right into the pregame show. And then boom, the Oilers take on the Minnesota Wild tomorrow afternoon. And then they are home to Vegas on Sunday night, and then Calgary on Tuesday. But three games in 4 days to end the season for the Edmonton Oilers, and not the season. I guess the bordering on the first half of the season, not officially the first half, as the Oilers will have played by then 38 games, pretty close, but it will be the first half of the season by the time we get to New Year's for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, here's the other good news, Oilers fans. The Edmonton Oilers are done going to the Eastern time zone. They've already played half of their road schedule. They've played 21 road games. They've only played 14 games at home. So tomorrow will be game 22 on the road. And you know what? They're basically 500. They're 9-9-3 points percentage. And you know what? They'd like to be a little bit better. I think that, they had a 7-game, or this is their second 5-game road trip. It has been tough travel. But they've won 3 out of 4. They could make this is already a successful trip, but if they can at least get a point, to be a great trip. And if they can somehow win in Minnesota, that'll be a phenomenal road trip for the Oilers. And we'll see how they do from there. McDavid, 2 more points last night when Quinn Hudson gets his first goal. Thought Pickard was solid. Nugent Hopkins, a goal and an assist. And it was a big win for Edmonton. They didn't give up much. Now, Boston didn't attack a ton. Right? Probably the best defensive play was Nurse. Did you see Nurse gain the ground on Pasternak on that play? Hey, we talk a lot about times when Nurse infuriates you, rightfully so, but that was a hell of a play that should be recognized for last night from Darnell Nurse. I thought he played a pretty solid game for him. And you know who I've really liked? Spencer Stastny. I like his game, man. He's been really good. Like I said before, I'd looked at an NHL edge. Yeah, and Kulak was a hell of a skater. I think Stastny might be a little bit quicker. So he has looked good. So I know it's a short sample size, but so far so good. Good first impressions from him. Elsewhere in the sporting world, hands up. Anybody have Puka Nacua in your fantasy playoff? Because if you did, you probably won. Like when you're in fantasy playoffs, you're all stressed. You're excited. It's fun. It's Thursday night. Geez, I don't know what happens. Like imagine if you're the opponent of somebody who had Puka. Like if you're in a PPR league, you had 46 points. How do I know that? Because I got him. I got him in the guillotine league, Connor Halley. We're down to the final 3. And you know what? There's no guarantee what happens. Your other guys have to perform. But him dropping 46 points on Thursday night gives me a reason to think that I can at least get to the final 2.
Yeah, especially when there's 3 teams left. I got to think you're going to beat one of them. This is my message, though, to people. 2020, Christmas Day, Alvin Kamara had 6 touchdowns, 155 yards on the ground. I thought I was a lock to win. The next day, Tom Brady, I believe, had 5 touchdowns in the first half. If he wasn't pulled I probably lose that matchup. So don't lose hope if you're going up against Alvin Kamara or against Puka Nacua. There's still plenty of football to be played. But for you, Gregor, 3 teams, I like that.
Alvin Kamara, that I was in the final of our league.
Yeah.
And Alvin Kamara had, I think it was 7 touchdowns that day.
6 touchdowns.
Was it 6?
6 for 155.
It was unbelievable.
I thought it locked me up my game. It still took Tom Brady being benched the next day for me to really win it. But yeah, it's never over till it's over. Remember that, fantasy football fans. But what a game. That overtime play by by Puka Nacua. It looked easy, Gregor. Like, it looked effortless. He's a stud.
Yeah, no, he was he did look very good last night. What did you make of the play? I watched it, and I think by the rule, I think they got it right. I don't love the review, but I actually think they got it right. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, it was a lateral pass. The ball was alive, and fortunate bounce. Charbonnet, I think, just being a good guy, picking up the ball in the end zone for the ref. It's a weird, probably one of the weirdest calls we've ever seen. I think they got it right for sure. It was the correct call. Had he picked it up on the 1, obviously they probably say you can't advance the football. No good. I don't have any issue with it. Rams fans might disagree. I don't know how they can. I think by the ruling of the book, the refs took their time with it, got the call right. I don't think it's going to get any weirder than that. And they didn't try it again to win the game with the 2-point conversion, obviously. A little bit of a safer play. And to be honest with you, Gregor, I didn't like the play design. Like, I thought that was a terrible call in that situation to try to do that quick hitter.
Yeah.
But they got lucky as you can get.
But yeah, it was a wild finish to the game, man. Wild finish. And like, I can understand, like, you got to remember, pro sports is like high testosterone. You got a lot of alpha males or alpha females when they're playing. And, you know, like, people are like, oh, you got to be calm. What are you talking about? It's hard to be calm. Some of you freak out playing a video game, playing a board game. Imagine being in a high energy game like that, and that call goes. I can see how people are like, what the hell is going on? Right? I get it. I totally understand it. So it was pretty wild to see that play go down last night, and I can understand if the Rams were frustrated. I actually thought their coach handled the press conference. I thought he conferred it pretty well. Hey, Gregor, what game do you think Ingram will play? Honestly, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning to Vegas on Sunday, right? That's kind of how I view it. So, I don't know though. Like, I thought Pickard played really well. Pickard's kind of he's obviously the veteran guy of the team. I don't think you're calling up Ingram and then not playing Pickard in the first game. So I'm going to guess it's Pickard tomorrow, and then it's Ingram on Sunday. But that is just that's just me. So we'll see where it goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Chris and Tesla, excuse me, are in at another $100 for the Adopt a Teen program. Very thankful for that. Awesome. Other news in the NHL. Did you see the Celebrini game last night? Oh my God, this kid is 19. Like, I know Oilers fans, you've been pretty spoiled. You've seen a lot of really good players. And I'm not saying he's McDavid or Draisaitl, but my God, if you had him on your team right now, or you would have had him in his second year as a 19-year-old, you'd have been giddy. Absolutely giddy. Did you see that play off the face-off last? Like, there were so many little details of that goal. First of all, he takes the draw, and he just kind of love taps it himself perfectly through the skates of Blackwell. In the offensive zone, I should add. Right? Goes through the skate. Then he goes to the corner. But that's the play in the corner where he didn't turn his back to the net. Instead, he comes in the corner, pivots, and opens up. So he's always looking at the middle of the ice. And that allows him to get it across to Graf, who then bangs it home and scores. That play, if you're a coach of young kids, like I have a practice tonight, I'm showing him that video because I've been trying to get him to open it up with the puck when you have possession of it. Open up. You can ski the ice so much better. Right? Lots of times we were always taught, protect the puck. Yeah. Well, what do you mean protect the puck? If you got time and space, you can get your head up. You see them coming. But you can also see where your teammates are. That was a phenomenal play by Celebrini. If you haven't seen it, maybe we'll have to find and put it up on the chat later on or on Twitter. I'll retweet it. But that was a hell of a play, man. Like, just This guy's in his second year in the NHL. He is so poised. To me, he is a lock, absolute lock to make Team Canada. I wouldn't be, at the rate he's playing right now, I wouldn't be stunned if he gets a look with Connor McDavid. Like, honestly, man, his IQ is off the charts. Off the charts. Hey, Greg's, you called it right after the trade for Jari. You mentioned his health. Well, I did mention what I said was Stuart Skinner. I'm pointing out things. Do I think Jari's a better goalie at the top of his game? Yeah. But the one thing you can't underestimate is the fact that Stu Skinner always was healthy. Right? He got a concussion once. There's not much you can do about that one. I don't really view that as an injury like knee. Like, it's luck, sure, to stay healthy a little bit. But, Jari, now I looked at it. In one 10-month span, he missed a total of 12 games, then 9, and then 7. So that was 28 games, right? He had missed it at the end of the 2022 season. He missed the final 6 regular season games and then the first 6 of the playoffs. And then he got in the 7th game and they were out. Then the next year, he got injured in November, missed 7 games. Then he got injured again in January, missed 9, and that was it. So that was 28 games. He's only missed 40 games in his career. Obviously, it'll be 42 by the weekend. And so I don't know if it's injury prone. If you had a stretch of 3 injuries in a 10-month span, I guess at that point he was, but it really hasn't been since. Unfortunately, now he was injured earlier this year, missed 7 games. Now, when I say he missed 7 games, we all know the goalie wasn't going to play all 7. Right? So he wasn't eligible for 7 games. Let's say it would have been 5 probably. Right? But either way, yeah, he's not available. And he's not. So you hope that this is short term. But what it's going to do is knock, knock. Opportunity knocks, man. Connor Ingram, this is what you've been waiting for. Honestly, this is what he's been waiting for. Because Connor Ingram comes in and plays well, guess what? If he plays well, it's not Jari who's going anywhere. They might have 3 goalies, and then Calvin Pickard could be somewhere. That's going to be the challenge. So, but Ingram's got to play well. I know he hasn't played great in the minors. I only watched 4 of his games. But the last game where he allowed 7 goals, I watched it, and you go back to that game, there was 5 for sure that I don't blame the goalie on. Maybe 6. Like, it was a sloppy game. It was 8-7. It was pond hockey. It was, it was River Cree on a Saturday night. Any goalies who play in that league, you know what I'm talking about. It's offense all the time. And that's okay. That's what men's league should be. So we'll see where it goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Man, we got a lot of bids in here. We got to catch up. So take a break. We got the pyramid of giving for adopted teen, $100, $200, $500, or $1,000. We also got the suite for the orders, taking on the Preds, January 6th. And we'll get to that and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake. But it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee. Still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Ring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. With special guests Haley Benedict and Morgan Clyburn. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. Hosted by Chris Sheets. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
A mullet for Marvin, a bowl cut for Barry, a pompadour for Peter, who's now really quite hairy. After this Christmas, all the men wish they could get some hair restoration from Dr. Vance Elliott.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. While you're Christmas shopping, consider giving yourself the greatest gift of all, a full natural head of hair. I know the results will be life-changing. Want to make this the year you get your mojo back? Book a free first consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Oh, 'tis the season to find the perfect gift at the perfect price at Leduc Goldsmiths.
The annual Christmas sale is on now with 10 to 25% off all in-store products. All natural and lab-created diamond engagement rings up to 25% off with a wide selection available. You'll have no trouble finding the right piece. The team at Leduc Goldsmiths have years of expertise to help find what you need. Leduc Goldsmiths on Main Street, Leduc. Leduc's Jewelry Store, family owned and operated for over 30 years.
As 2025 comes to a close, GS Construction would like to take the time and thank our crews, our partners, and our communities for another successful year of teamwork and growth. Together, we've helped keep Edmonton and the surrounding area moving by building and maintaining the underground infrastructure that keeps everything running smoothly. It's been another year of dedication, pride, and hard work the team has put in to make it all possible. To learn more about our people and our projects, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You're listening to The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$225. Awesome. Let's roll through. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. So old Sony Eagle went in at 2G. We had John at 3, and now Evan is at 4,000 on the suite for the orders. And the Preds, of course, that comes with $500 food and beverage, 2 underground parking passes. It'll be a great night. So we got that. Also, month of giving continues on the pyramid of giving today, and we had a good start. $100, $200, $500, $1,000 donation. So if you do the math, because we need 15, 100, 10 at 200, 4, we only need 31 listeners, and we've already got 6. So that's a good start. We need 11 more 100s, 9, 200, 4, 500s, and we already got one of the big ones from Sean at 1,000. So thanks, Sean, Allison, Aaron, Conrad, Chris Teslin, and there we go. Should be, and Tony. Thanks for the team, man. Awesome. So if you want anyone to help us out, it's Adopt a Teen today, and it makes everything a lot better for those teens just to have something at Christmas time. And a lot of cases just to be able to maybe buy their mom or dad a small little gift of thanks. I know over the years we've had lots of people who said they were in that situation before. Man, it can make a big difference just mentally and emotionally. So if you got a spare 100 or 200 or 5 or 1,000, we'll definitely take it. 833-401-1440. Let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And I have to say, you know what? I like it just for the read. He's built a worse box with odd socks as a prize and even left behind a Who Hash surprise. Looking to see the Grinchiest big reveal? It's only at McDonald's. His Grinchiest meal. Check it out. It's actually quite tasty. Because you all know the Grinch kind of at the end. You know, he's got a little soft heart, right? It's kind of like Connor Halley. You know, tough guy, beard, kind of a softie. Joe O'Donnell joins us, the voice of the Minnesota Wild. And Joe, big news in Minnesota, of course. It was basically just a week ago on Friday when they acquired Quinn Hughes. And they gave up some good pieces for sure, but Quinn Hughes is an elite offensive defenseman, something the Wild really haven't had in their organization ever. And, so far, so good returns on Quinn Hughes.
It's been awesome, and appreciate you having me on. But the way this team has been playing with all these call-ups and injuries has been remarkable. And I think they got a jolt. The vibes are high, and in large part because you go out and make a move like this, you prove to the team, the organization says to the players, like, hey, we're taking the next step potentially. So I think it's kind of twofold. Team was playing well to begin with, but you get an injection of talent and skill and just elite compete like Hughes brings to the table. I think it goes a long way.
Now they got some injuries too on the back end, and Brodeen and Middleton, so it's perfect timing for him. But it also allows some of the young guys, to get their feet wet a little bit. Where's Jurasek at?
Well, that's a good question. He's kind of been still part of the development plan, still a little bit of a project. He played opening night for Minnesota, and then sat, kind of thereafter a little bit back and forth. Brodeen was sort of coming back from an off-season injury or procedure, whatever you want to call it. So Juracek kind of in and out. Then he eventually went down to Iowa, got a bunch of games there. And then, as you mentioned, the blue line kind of ravaged again. Middleton gets hurt, Bogosian gets hurt, Brodeen's hurt. Now Damon Hunt's out. So the other night against Columbus, last night, I got my days in a little blender here, but last night against Columbus, they had Carson Lambos making his NHL debut. They had Matt Kierstead playing with Jared Spurgeon, hence why Faber and Hughes had to play darn near half the game. So for Juracek, I think it continues to be a work in progress. He's still, recently turned 22 years of age. He's a big right shot D. He's got all the tools. I think his skating was not an issue like Columbus made it out to be. I don't think that's something the Wild are concerned about. He's got a big shot. It's just whether or not he can dial it all in, the details of the game, not turning pucks over, not going rogue and trying to maybe beat a guy one-on-one. Just stay within the structure, play simple, use his size and his ability, and I think he'll get there. Certainly right now, you're probably a little underwhelmed if you're a Wild fan looking at what they gave up to get him. But again, he's just 22. I think there's, there by no means is this a player that's written off, and he's still very much in development phase.
The Wild, I look at their team, it's obviously very strong in goal, on the back end. I really like their forward group. They would love another, top six center for sure. Joel Eriksson is an excellent number 2 center, and probably, maybe a low number 1 type of center. Now, number 1 centers don't grow on trees, so it's going to be hard. But Bill Guerin is never afraid to take a swing. But do you think, I see a lot of people say, no, Nazem Kadri, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it on one hand, but it's the term of Kadri that's more of the concern for me.
Yeah, I haven't really heard that name, Jason, but you're right. They, even before the Marco Rossi was, before Rossi was part of the Hughes deal, you could argue that the Wild still need another top 6 forward. Hughes obviously brings some offense that isn't necessarily from a forward, but he drives the play. His stretch passes are, darn near the best in the league. He carries the puck out of it. He's a one-man breakout. I mean, all those things, the power play won't prove, but they definitely need something else up front, whether that's experience and the ability to, pot 15 or 20 goals in the regular season, or if that's a higher end player than that, that might still be younger. I think that remains to be seen, but the issue is going to be obviously the term portion of it. Going into next year, Kaprizov's going to get a hefty raise. Hughes would be then in the last year of his deal. You still have Boldy at a very manageable number. Eriksson X locked up long-term. Faber's locked up long-term. But you have to start to look at, yes, the cap is jumping, but you got some guys that are coming up either pretty soon, end of term for their deals, or guys that are getting big raises as their new contracts kick in. So I'd be surprised if the Wild get a player that's a high salary guy with term. I just don't know they can make that work. But maybe it's a veteran guy that has won a Stanley Cup that's looking for a change of scenery. Maybe it's a guy whose contract is expiring sooner rather than later. Those are the types of guys I think they'll be looking at right now. Again, if they stay healthy, if they're accruing cap space and they have the ability to kind of make one more move.
The Wild pretty much rotate their goalies. Now, I know that, you had not Markstrom. Gustafsson go back to back. He hadn't done it a ton. The longer the season goes, do you think like would the Wild stick with that? It's probably too early to know, but like I just remember Boston not sticking with it after their almost perfect season, and then they lost in the first round, right? And they went to one goalie who hadn't played 6 games in a row all year long, and then suddenly they did it at that time. Do you think they're that comfortable with both? And I think it might make sense. Like, get you what got you to the dance, and if splitting gets you to the dance, then stick with it.
Yeah, and if you had looked at it in October, it wasn't going to be that case. I mean, Jesper Wallstedt, for as good as he's been, wasn't, excellent his first 2 or 3 starts. The whole team really had a pretty clunky month of October, going 3-6-3. They've been one of the best teams in the league since, but even Gustafsson started a little slow. So at the start of the year, I think everybody thought Gustafsson's going to be 55 to 60 starts. Wallstedt will clean up the rest. With Marc-Andre Fleury retiring at the end of last season, and now they both played so well, I think you have to have that conversation. The one thing I did find interesting, and John Hines, this isn't a trade secret, John Hines has said it to local media the last couple of days, it's like this week they went into it going, we're actually going to decide our starting goaltender based on the opponent. What does Edmonton do well? What does Colorado do well? What type of team is Columbus, who they played last night? And then based on their goaltenders, like, okay, we think maybe Wallstedt handles a rush team better than a net front team, or you know what I mean? Like, I found that very interesting that they were that open and honest about how they came up with their goaltending rotation for this week. Maybe that plan changes moving forward, but I thought that was a very honest assessment of like, okay, we're sitting down with our goalie coach, Freddie Shabbat, who used to work for the Oilers organization, of course, and we're kind of looking at who we're playing, what the schedule dictates, where our goaltenders thrive, and putting the plan in that way. So we'll see how it transpires, but it's definitely a good problem to have with both Swedish-born goaltenders fighting for the net, but also getting some rest and some practice reps in between that allows them to hone finer parts of their game. And I don't think either guy's getting gassed, and they're both competing for it too, which is a good thing to have. Like, you're pushing Philip Gustafsson, who maybe came into this year thinking he was going to play 60 games. He's now going to earn his net every night.
Joe O'Donnell joins us talking Minnesota Wild. Of course, the Edmonton Oilers will be in Minnesota to take on the Wild tomorrow afternoon. You look at their lineup, Matt Boldy, I'm expecting is going to make Team USA. Obviously, Quinn Hughes. You think Faber makes that team?
No, absolutely. I mean, by some reports that I'm seeing and doing the math, people are thinking the Wild could have 9 or 10 guys if you include maybe like a David Spacek, an Iowa Wild defenseman for Team Czechia, whose father Yaroslav played a long time in the NHL. Spacek's had some opportunities with Czechia in the World Championships recently. So when you start looking down their pipeline, they could have maybe 9-10 guys represent various countries. And I think Faber's an absolute lock. I think him and Hughes, with the chemistry they've showed, is going to be, something that Team USA will have to consider. Last year, Faber at the Four Nations played so well with Jacob Slavin, kind of got on the national radar for some that maybe hadn't been, too aware of just how good Brock Faber was. But now he and Hughes have put together a nice few games with Minnesota. I think it'll just give Team USA some other options there when they go to eventually make their selections and then decide who's going to play with who.
Joe, one last one so you're saying 9. So obviously the 2 defensemen, obviously Gustafsson in goal, right? Matt Boldy, Nico Eriksson, Brodin, Nico Sturm's going for Germany, I would assume.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And who else?
Now you're putting me on the spot, and I'm going to totally have forgotten somebody.
Because you're like, and that's okay, but it is pretty damn good. Now, one guy, Danila Yurov, who's young player. I saw his play there. He was directing traffic to Tarasenko right off the faceoff, wins it basically right where he said to be, and then boom, he scores right off the draw. I know he got nicked up a little bit beforehand, but could this guy maybe solve their internal problem for a center iceman?
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why they were even more comfortable moving Marco Rossi. But real quick on the Olympic thing, do we count Gustafsson, maybe Wallstedt for Team Sweden? I know that would be a big change to get both goalies from one team, especially with Wallstedt being so young. But you got to factor in Gustafsson being a potential.
Yeah,
Gustafsson,
I had him. Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I had him on there for sure. I think he's the lock.
Yeah, but just back to Yurov, like, there are some similarities between Rossi's game and Yurov's game. They're both smart players. They both read things well. They support well in the breakouts. And these aren't just, my observations. This is talking to the coaching staff as well. Rossi's game more polished offensively at this point, but Yurov's starting to come along there. And the all-Russian line that they've used the last couple of nights with Tarasenko and Trenyan on the wings with young Danila Yurov, it's been exciting. They have good chemistry. They had a nice rush goal last night in Columbus with a couple of drop passes, and Tarasenko buries one. And boy, if the Wild can get Tarasenko scoring goals, he had 11 last year with Detroit, obviously down year by his standards. He started slow here in Minnesota, but he's heating up lately. If he can get in that 15-20 range when you get Zuccarello back, which sounds like could be as early as tomorrow, and if this team can ever get healthy, it could be scary good how good they are, because they haven't had their opening night lineup once all season. And they still put together a pretty remarkable run starting in November. So Yurov's going to be a big part of it. He's very defensively responsible for his first year in North America. It's the first thing I heard about him when they had the prospect showcase before training camp, and I was asking management, all right, what do you see here? They said, we won't have to worry about the defensive part of the game. And that, to me, was like, okay, usually a kid comes over and that's all you worry about, right? As a first-round pick is like, is he committed to 200-foot game? So John Hines has no issue playing him in some of those spots. The face-off circle is going to be a work in progress. He's just under 40% on the year, but he's getting more confidence offensively. He's a fun player to watch.
Awesome stuff, Joey. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for this, and enjoy the game tomorrow, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
There you go. That's Joe O'Donnell. I probably should have made a joke with Joe. I don't know if it's too soon or not. Did you maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. One of the guys in Philly getting a 2-game suspension for, and hey, you know what? Anybody who's on the mic knows the mic can technically always be on. And, you make a joke, like things Connor and Declan and I say to each other, off air. It's kind of stuff you say to your buddies, and then people hear it and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe he said it. I'm like, oh geez, like what he said wasn't, that egregious. Like it's a crude statement that you make to, it's not racist, but I get why he gets a 2-game suspension, because it came out public, so they got to do something. So he, it's unfortunate, but to sit here and think that we haven't made some jokes to each other, Cons, for this many years that we've worked together. Like, yeah. I don't know if I've made that specific joke to you at the time, but we've made other ones for sure.
I think we're on air, Tim. I think that was the line where Tim was like, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Like, that's just the joke. Your mic is on, pardon. Like I was sitting there, like, honestly, I felt for him, because I've been in that situation, man, where you're just like, the mic's not on, and I'm kind of like, why is the mic on? That's my number one rule. Like, you're like, dude, why'd you leave the mic? Now, but guys doesn't leave it on purpose, but it is that's a tough one. I did, I'll be honest, I did chuckle a bit, because the minute I heard the comment, I was like, I know exactly what he was saying. Like, it's such a guy thing to say to other guys sometimes. Not meant that way, but I can also see, but at the same time, understand why he ends up getting the 2-gamer, went public. And of course, you know what happened, Cons? People got offended. Of course, yeah. The people that got offended, they would never say anything bad. Just ask them. They'll tell you, no, I would never say anything like that. Like, no, there's certain things you can't, like racist stuff, sure. But come on, it's unfortunate.
We've definitely had it where we were left on YouTube in the early start of going on YouTube for the first time, and the chat just lights up. Live mic.
But even then, normally you don't say much.
Oh,
right?
No.
It's more so some of the funnier stories that we talk about. We're very rarely to say anything offside, but sometimes it's just more fun. So always remember that, kids, boys and girls. For many of you who are podcasting now, it's always on. Even sometimes you think it's not. It might be. Take a break. Munzer will be by. We got Yaremchuk, Wanye Gretz, Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning. I just saw Cam, has he got some extra Red Bull in it? He just wheeled literally right over the tree down the hallway. Had to move the tree. Jeez, it's just a chaos for Tater. It's like he's on the white mud right now, just sliding away. I didn't know the wheelchair in the hallway was that slick. So got to check on Tater here. Might have plants all over the place. Also, Trent is up to 4,500 in our package today for the suite. Awesome. And remember, it is month of giving today. We're helping out Adopt a Teen. We're filling out the pyramid. We've had a good start, but let's get it rolling. $100, $200, $500, or $1,000 donations, and we can help them get a lot of kids teenagers, not kids, got to be teenagers, right? They kind of get left, the young kids super excited and everybody wants help and it's awesome. But just remember your teenage years. You're probably a little unorthodox maybe, right? You're kind of trying to find yourself at times. And any parent of a teenager knows, test your patience at times as a parent. But you remember how it is, right? The frontal lobe's not developed. You're making decisions. You're like, they're not always the best decision. Some guys, you're wondering about our decisions. We make it 30 and 40 and 50, but still. So if you want to help out, you can really change someone's life at Christmas time with $100, $200, $500, $1,000 donation for Adopt a Teen. We would very much appreciate it. 833-401-1440.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Every lunchtime, hang with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. Low Tide and Declan Kruger gives you the deep dives, sharp analysis, and Edmonton sports talk done right. Your game, your station, Sports 1440.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. And ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free, and the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text VALUE to 780-777-7777 to start. That's VALUE to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play, score, and win every game. See more at ontherocksYEG.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
247, welcome back. Positive Friday, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Todd from 3T Signs, he's in at 500. You know what? Todd, I think, has done 500 every Friday in the Pyramid of Giving. Attaboy, Todd. Thank you very much. So now, we got a spot in every dance card. We got at least a spot. So that's nice. We're looking for 100, 200, 500, and $1,000 donation. We need one more at 1,000, 3 at 5. 9 at 200, and 11 of 100s. And we'll fill up the pyramid to help adopt a teen today, which is a fantastic charity that definitely needs your help this time of year so you can make a big difference for some kids. Also, Evan went up to 5G on the suite, so thank you very much. 833-401-1440 is the text line, 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, and tonight, Lotto Max. 23 max millions. Plus 80 million. Oh my goodness. Good luck. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time to go in the mind, brought to you by Action Electrical, 53rd year in business. Projects, service, testing, solar. They got 4 divisions. They're the most diversified electrical contractor, and they're hiring. If you want to work for a great company, send your resume, careers at actionelectrical.net. As we are joined by Olympic gold medalist Lori-Ann Munzer. Lori-Ann, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Happy Friday, Jason. How are you?
I am good. I'm really good. I do want to change is most of us naturally, we don't love change. You kind of get comfortable. Like some people, they go to the same breakfast place, right? They drive the same way to work. Like there's certain things, like I know people are maybe a little bit over the top. Like I'm putting my sock on left foot. Some sports athletes, like there's certain routines they like, right? And most of us don't like change. But how can change be good for an athlete? Like should athletes in training, should they force themselves to adapt change?
Oh, absolutely. It's something that isn't done a whole lot because you get into that routine and you keep doing the same thing over and over again. But if you really want to mess up an athlete, just change their whole routine without telling them until the last minute. And you can actually, if you're prepared for it and know that at some point it is going to be coming, it can be really, really good. I mean, when you were talking about putting the sock on the left foot and the right foot, I mean, that is a skill. You put your skate on the same foot always. The second one is, the one that follows. And there's certain things you do, Jason, that are automatic so that you don't have to think about it because yeah, that's really important, but you should be thinking about the game coming up and you've had enough practice putting your socks and your skates on. So when you think about good change, it's easier if it's done little by little by little. It's like that slow tap that drips, a drip of water, a little bit of drop of water. If it keeps going on and nothing is changed, that's when you're going to be into trouble. If you go from the opposite spectrum where you just hit somebody with change, I mean, when we're talking about mindset stuff, we call that an emotional impact. An emotional impact could be really good in terms of, oh my gosh, like we're down with the goalie. So what are we going to do? You come collectively together. It is a bad situation, very unexpected, but what can we do to mitigate it and turn it around? Which means everybody, again, we've talked about this before, has to step up to the plate. So the question becomes, what are you going to do? Because a hockey game is never the same game twice. You never do the exact same move. You prepare to do the exact same move again and again and again, so that when it becomes that you are in that spot in the limelight and it comes down to you and you got to shoot and score, you've done it so many times that it is automatic. But when you play that game of, okay, let's see if we can screw up the other player or the other bike rider, shenanigans like that, you were talking with, the con man about, being on the air and saying things. Well, there's stuff that goes on in the arena on the track that it's the same stuff, different day. And it's like, that's the stuff that just levels up the playing field, your playing field, your competitor's playing field. And I can tell you only one person is going to win. Only one team is going to win. And it is who is on in their mind, the stuff between the ears, if it's firing, that's going to win. There's like, if you're half in the game, you're going to get run over.
When you mentioned like doing things over and over again, and obviously when athletes, even in whatever, if you're a scientist, I'm assuming, you do things over and over again, you get better at it, you understand it more. But when it comes to athletics, a lot of it is you learn, like it becomes muscle memory, right? But it also becomes like muscle memory, but brain memory at the same time. Can you differentiate the two Lorianne, and how can you do like brain memory as well as muscle memory? Are they automatically intertwined?
That's a really good question. One of our higher mental faculties is memory. So do you have a long-term memory or do you have a short-term memory? It's not good or bad. It's either long or short. It is what it is. But then when you talk about the repetition part, it's like you're cutting and making a new record. We see, rock stars, Celine Dion, Rough Trade, Carol Pope, and they're making records. Or you've got Taylor Swift. Look at the records that she's been breaking. Look at the records she's bringing back on vinyl. Well, the brain is a muscle. The brain is a muscle, just like a bicep, just like a tricep, quad, calf. You can develop it, or you can let it atrophy, which is waste away. We're sitting on the couch, getting comfy with the beer and the chips and the potatoes. So the question is, are you going to create the record of the repetition of doing the drill in a certain way that is top notch over, like look at Connor McDavid. He does things over and over and over again, and he's lightning fast. He has the genetics, he has the skill, but the man practices. You can't just think about it and it's going to happen. But you can train your brain to adapt and come back and, okay, we have to pivot. Like, look at Hyman. He had to relearn to get his hand to work before, like when it's broken, you have to rebuild it again. He's, the $6 million man. Anybody who has an injury, when you're coming back where something is broken, you have to retrain the body because it's not going to be in the same way put together as it was before it was broken. It's in a different position. I busted my collarbone. My right shoulder, like you can see it physically if I'm in a tank top, but you wouldn't know it because I've built the muscles around it. So if you think about your skeleton is like the framework. The muscles is what holds the frame together. So your brain, you're firing those neurotransmitters, I think they're called, and you're making a record. Are you cutting a crappy record, or are you making like a gold, platinum, whatever is beyond a platinum? I can't think of what it is right now, but what kind of record are you creating? So the change when, you screw somebody up in training is so that if you get, cross-checked and knocked off your feet or something happens, you're able to rebound because you have that picture, you have that experience of going through it at least once before. If you haven't had that opportunity, Jason, that's when people go, ugh, and they choke in sports or they panic in life, right? Because they've never done it. It's unfamiliar.
Yeah, well, preparation is the key in anything you do. It goes back to, when you first had to do your first public speaking event in junior high or something like that. And, you could see that the kids who practiced theirs to the kids who didn't, it was easily noticeable, right?
Oh, absolutely. My mom used to say, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And I used to think that was it. But luck is when you can't explain what the athlete did or what the team did. Because I tell you, everybody's preparing. Some have a higher standard than others. Some need to go and do what we call distraction therapy, where they go to the movies or they go out dancing or they hang out with their friends or, they get on their video games control and they just like go crazy, right? And everybody's going to be a little bit different of, well, what are you doing and how do you train those standards? What are your standards? What are your checklists? What is your routines? And that's why the skate goes on the left foot versus putting it on the right foot first.
Yeah, well, no, that makes total sense. And it is like preparation. So we got some text coming in for young players. Because obviously, young players, their focus is going to be different and, might not be as long, but for like 10, 11, 12-year-olds, even for 30 seconds, Lorianne, or 50 seconds or a minute, what are some things can do to help young kids learn to kind of focus in at a time?
Oh my goodness. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is create a checklist, but a silly, simple checklist of, well, what are we going to focus on? Is it going to be focus on packing your bag so that you don't forget your skates or you don't forget a glove at home? If you're talking about a mental point as well, is take a sticker or a dot or put a Post-it note on the wall and get your timer out and start with 10 seconds. And the question is, can you keep your eyes on the Post-it note for that 10 seconds or whatever the duration is? Start small, because then you build confidence and you build success by starting with the small amounts. I know so many coaches that they go, well, we should be able to do 5 minutes. So you set the timer for 5 minutes. You can't even do 10 seconds. The athlete gets crushed with that because it's a failure. It's not a failure. It's just they don't have that development done already. So start smaller and go, well, what can you do? Well, I think I could do 15 seconds. All right, let's start at 10 seconds. Let's see if you can focus there. All right, then let's go to 11, go to 12. Because the difference between 10 seconds, holding the vision, holding that one spot, you're trying not to blink, your mind's going, oh, well, we could be at practice. I got to call Joe. I got to go, mom said be home before 6 or whatever it is training your brain, just like your bicep or your quads, and it's taking those chunks and then it's the repetitions. If you work on 5 sets of 10 seconds and you can ace them and do them so focused, you're going to be able to build up to the 50 seconds because that's the whole duration. We've just broken it into 5, 10-second segments that you still have the 50 seconds. And then you start increasing the time. So if you're talking mental focus, start with a dot or a Post-it note on a wall. If you want to really screw the kids up or the athletes, get a candle. The candle is not static. It moves. Somebody opens the door and the candle, the flame just starts to move. And then the mind will want to start to move. And you got to go, no. Focus on the candle. Just focus on the candle. Or you're focusing on the flame. And you pick the one spot and you do not let it out of your eyes or out of your sight or, as we say, out of your mind.
Out of your mind. Lorianne, great stuff. We really appreciate it. Have yourself an awesome weekend and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Enjoy some time with the fam.
Thank you. And you too. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
You betcha. That is Lorianne. Here's a story just coming down. How about I'd love to hear the BS response we're going to get. What did I say about the Vancouver Canucks? They have no one to blame but themselves. So the Abbotsford Canucks players have still not received their Calder Cup rings. No one knows when or if they're actually going to arrive. How cheap of an organization do you have to be? What an absolute joke. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Absolute wow. And you wonder why you wonder why Quinn Hughes wanted to get out of that organization. That's all you need to know right there. Let's take a quick break. Let's start at hour number 2 like we started hour number 1. We'll get some donations in. We're going to help out Adopt a Teen. $100, $200, $500, and $1,000 donations. I know it's getting close to Christmas. I know, hey, we only need 24 of you to make a donation. That's it. $100, $200, $500, or $1,000. We'll fill it up the pyramid of giving to help out Adopt a Teen and lots of teens who desperately need your help at this time of year. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Now's the time at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
So one of those transactions, they placed goaltender Tristan Jarry on the IR, moved Jack Roslovic to the LTIR, and recalled goaltender Connor Ingram from the Bakersfield Condors. Oilers in action tomorrow, taking on Minnesota, then Vegas on Sunday. On the ice tonight, you got the Carolina Hurricanes in Florida up against the Panthers. Islanders host the Canucks, Jets in Colorado, Mammoth host the Devils, and the Stars in Anaheim. In the association tonight, Knicks taking on the 76ers, Thunders in Minnesota. You got the Cavs and the Bulls, and the Heat taking on the Boston Celtics. WCHL Spruce Grove on the road in Brooks taking on the Bandits. That'll get going just after 7. And in the AJ5 games tonight, including the Kodiaks in Calgary, Wolverines meet the Bobcats in Drayton Valley heading to Bonnyville. College football playoffs round 1 tonight has Oklahoma taking on Alabama from Norman. Kickoff at 6. Right now, the Gasparilla Bowl has the NC State Wolfpack leading Memphis 31-7 in the third quarter. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Wanye Gretz from Oilers Nation, also from Oilers Nation, Tyler Uremchuk. I'm Connor Halley, and this has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vimy and Donnan have to offer. Visit vimmyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca. And what can I get for you this year, little fella?
I want a new Ford F-150 with the FX4 package.
Adults need toys to play with on Christmas morning, too. And Nisku Ford has the best toys in town. If you decide to wrap one up, you can get rebates as high as $10,000 or choose interest rates as low as 0%.
This Christmas, get the toy you really want.
Add Nisku Ford to your holiday visits or make your wish list at niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.307 on a positive Friday. How are you, Jason Gregor? Connor Halley rolling through. It is Positive Friday. Order fans are in a good mood. Maybe a little nervous, maybe a little, but are also a little curious. What's Connor Ingram got? You're going to find out. He's being recalled. Tristan Jarry back in Edmonton today, getting evaluated to see the extent of the injury that he happened yesterday in the second period of that game against the Boston Bruins. Didn't look like a crazy play, just was coming across, going left to right. And to me, it looks like some sort of way. I can't say if it's a groin or a core injury, oblique, whichever one it is, but it's definitely it looked like it was one of them. So hopefully it's not too serious. Depending on, it can be week to week, man, and week to week, depending on the severity. Not every groin strain's the same. Hey, not every groin's the same. You know what I'm talking about? So not every strain is going to be the same, right? So we'll see. But Jarry is out, and Connor Ingram is in, and Calvin Pickard could be the starter tomorrow night, like tomorrow afternoon. I would think it's Pickard tomorrow and Ingram on Sunday, but I have no idea. So we will wait and find out. But you got to think Connor Ingram, man, it's been a long journey back. And all I know is that he is super excited. This is, hey, this is what you wanted, right? Like when you're going through a tough time, you know that it's not always an easy road back, but he was looking forward to get back. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And hey, it's not easy, but it could be magical. Could be magical tonight for you. Lotto Max, $80 million and 23 Max millions are up for grabs at PlayAlberta.ca. Matt came in. He took a $200 square and a $100 square. So that's all. So now we only have spots for 22 people left, which is fantastic. 10 of you at 100, 6 at 200, 3 at 500, and 1 at 1,000. So you got to, you know what? You want, hey, it's Positive Friday? Put out some good karma? You can. Talk to your spouse, maybe say, hey, you know what? We'll just, instead of giving it to each other, we'll give the $100 to someone else. How about that? You never know. So 833-401-1440. We're helping out Adopt a Teen today. And I got to read this. It's Positive Friday, Connor Halley. Positive Friday. And it just got a little bit better. Hey, Greggs, we really appreciate everything you do at your station. It's always heartwarming to see how many people come together all the time. Companies donating, people donating, bidding. It's awesome. We'd like to do our part today as we follow up with what those other companies have done the last 2 Fridays and match the pyramid if no one else has done it yet. Glad they do it from Sergey and everybody at All Star Construction. Sergey, you son of a... That's awesome, my man. Actually ran into Sergey. Actually, I've seen him at the order games a few times. Great success story, man. I actually got to talk to Sergey about a month ago. And I'm always kind of curious, how do you get in a situation like that? And everybody who starts his own company, once you're a business guy, I'm always kind of curious to see everybody goes. And, his story is awesome. So, Alberta's got a lot of those kind of guys who just kind of grind it out. And, after a while you work somewhere and you say, I'm going to try to go into my own. Not everybody makes it 100% of the time, but there's a lot of people out there that do it. So, Sturgeon, everyone at All-Star Construction, no one else has matched it, so you can. This is like the greatest trend that our listeners have taken over now is they just want to match the pyramid with some companies. It's like my favorite thing. And, you get a random email out of the blue because they never want to expect it from anybody. But Sergey and All-Star Construction are going to match our pyramid of giving today. That is awesome. So now, hey, let's rock and roll. 100, 200, and basically it's doubling it because they're going to match everything for the pyramid of giving today. So thank you very much from Sergey and everybody at All-Star Construction. Have yourselves an awesome Christmas. So there you go. That's fantastic. Let's go. Let's party up here. Let's get going. Let's get a few in. And also Trent's up to 5,500 on the suite package. Said it's his birthday that day. So that could be a good birthday present for yourself. I like it. So having a good Positive Friday. Let's get the donations in. We only need 22. That's not think about it, doing my math. Basically, it's 7 people an hour for the next 3 hours. Pretty confident we can get 7 listeners an hour. 100, 200, 500, or 1,000. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. How you can get in as we welcome to the show Wanye Gretz. Wanye, how you doing?
It's a big move to double the pyramid.
It is. It's awesome,
it's a
man.
Huge play.
Yeah, it's like the big play, man. I love it.
You got to have a board meeting at work to decide if you're going to give away that kind of money. Like, you can't just have one guy with the petty cash. You got to have like some people need to be informed.
Yeah, it's a group decision. That's what I like. So, although sometimes if you're the owner, you can make executive decisions. Sometimes.
But even if you're the owner, somewhere along the line, there's a controller, an accountant, and they're giving you the stink eye, and they're like, what are you doing? Although have to be Scrooge not to want to give money to the month of giving.
Yeah, especially for Adopt a Teen. And Greg is in, so there you go. We only need 6 more this hour. Greg's in at $100. Rocking and rolling, 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. What's your concern level of Jari and the goaltending?
Well, I mean, people have hated on Edmonton Oilers goaltending for reasons right or wrong, but one thing we've never really had is an injury-prone goalie. And there were people from the Pens Twitter sphere tweeting at Oilers Nation last night, that's what you get. Like, the implied threat being that Jari's awesome when he's in net.
Well, hey, the best ability is availability. There's no question about it. And so he's never had like a long, the most games he's ever missed in a row was 12. Now, keep in mind, he's a goalie. He wasn't going to play all 12, but his availability for 12, he said 12, 9, 7. Now it looks like it's going to be at least 2, probably 3 for sure on this one. So, yeah, you don't want it. It's definitely a concern. When I wrote about it, I understand all the numbers of Skinner and people getting frustrated, but that's the one concern was compared. Now, he's not like Demko yet, injury-wise, or Markstrom, but he's not Skinner health either.
I was listening to the show driving in, and I heard you were saying that you were texting with some doctors. Like, what is this injury? Core, oblique?
Well, I just asked them what they thought, and they are pretty sure it was a strain just based on how he was moving. Like the fact that he stayed in until the whistle, right? Like when you strain something, you just kind of feel it. And it's like most people have strained. Like I know guys always joke, can't strain fat. And in essence, that's true. But you can strain the muscle underneath it. And so whether it's a core or a groin, like no one can say until you see the doctor, but that's what it's going to be. And then they all said the level of it depends. Not every strain's equal. Right. So there's like 3rd degree, 2nd degree. They're all different. So it'll depend on, the severity of that will mean whether it's a week, can be 2 weeks. Sometimes it can be 3 to 4.
Hockey players, I would argue, are the toughest of the big 4 leagues. I don't think that's an unfair thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No? Who would you put? NFL linebacker?
NFL is like the physical pounding in an NFL game on your body is pretty significant. There's all sorts of different injuries. Like you look at basketball players and you're running all the time, like the pounding you're taking on your knees. I think they're all tough for different reasons. Like I know that some injuries you mock, like in basketball, the guy's got, he's got a blister, like a picture. I'm like, yeah, well, you can't throw a ball with a blister, you dummy. You can't. It's impossible.
But load management in the NBA to me is preposterous.
Yeah, but again, there's hockey people who like to tip. It's like, oh, I read something once, and so Kawhi Leonard load managed, so that means everybody does it. How many games is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? How many games is Jokic load managing a year?
That's true.
Right? How many games did Connor McDavid sit out last year? Oh, how many? Oh, no, that's
how
okay.
Many?
2. He sat out 2 the year before. No, but that's my point.
Yeah, but like a guy like Ben Simmons or some of these people who are
Ben Simmons is always hurt. That's Ben Simmons is the Demko of basketball.
Yes.
Okay, he's always hurt. So,
but my question originally was a guy like Jari, what level of pain will he play through as a goalie? Like you don't want to have lingering injuries.
Well, you can't. There's certain things if you're a goalie, you can't, and you got to go. You can't play through a strained groin muscle. You just can't do it. You can't push off. It's impossible. Right. So there's like, you're a skater and guys have played with a bum shoulder before, right? Some dislocated. That can happen because now, are you as effective? It's a pain threshold thing. But when you come to a goalie in his groin, right? If you can't push off, you can't push off. Like, how are you going to get across the net? What are you going to take some fishing line and wheel it against the glass and then wheel yourself over there? Like there's just certain things that physically you can't do in certain sports.
So is this a significant injury?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
No one knows. It just happened last night. Like he flew home today. He's getting reevaluated. And everyone told me, the 3 doctors I talked to said their guess in their medical profession was a strain. That's what they said. So you wouldn't have, like if you'd had a muscle tear, you wouldn't have stayed in the game most likely. But keep in mind that speaking of toughness, how about Jack Roslovic? I think people forget. So Jack Roslovic he basically had surgery on his nutter after taking that shot. But people forget he had the shot blocked. Then he came back and scored a goal.
Oh.
And then they realized that it's like, oh, you know what? This isn't good. So I remember he told me that he was in so much pain that he couldn't walk for 4 days.
And he still scored a goal.
No. Like after the fact, like it's because your adrenaline comes off and then then it started to hurt worse. Right. And So, but most guys, when you've been nutted like really bad, right? Most of you're in the fetal position. Sometimes you're on all fours. Your eyes are watering. You feel like your nuts are up in your throat. And it's the worst. And he said, man, take that to by 20. Oh. He said it was the worst pain he'd ever had. Like you could barely move because, it's all your groin muscles, everything's strained, everything like that. Like, no. So yeah, that is, there's different, everybody has a different level of toughness. Like Jason Smith, his teammates always said that guy, had a pain threshold of a cadaver. So there's obviously different people that have it. But I know, like, I remember the worst. I'll still remember it. Amanda Maddox. I was playing soccer, and I kicked the ball past her, and she went and she caught me like right. I was 13 years of age. You're just starting to, the boys have finally dropped, and I know exactly what field it was on. I've never felt pain like that, and she got me right, kind of up, coming through the bottom, right, like from underneath. I remember, and it hurts so much you don't even cry. Like it's that much pain. And oh man, like the boys were black and blue, like it was the worst. And I just remember thinking, like, how could you do that? It's like, I get that you weren't trying to hit me there, but like she was so late on the ball. I was just, God, still to this day, like, oh man, I get the shivers. That was the worst nutter I've ever taken.
Thinking that there are players in the NHL today who do not wear cups.
I don't think there's many.
I can't remember who we talked to at the Nation who said he thinks there's like 3 to 4 guys in the NHL not wearing cups.
Come on.
And he said there's more people smoking at intermission too than there is not wearing cups, but there's definitely people who do not wear cups.
Really? That is,
you are the toughest person in the universe if you feel you could play an NHL game.
Tough and stupid are a fine line sometimes. Like, is that like you're playing without a cup? Like, why?
Well, is it like, I didn't like how it feels. You know what you won't like?
Yeah, dude.
Slapper to the uncupped cup.
Yeah, there is no chance. Like, no. Like, I even look at baseball, man. Like, I could see maybe an outfielder doesn't need to wear one. Okay, whatever. Like, you're probably not taking a screaming liner up. It's like you have time to react. Infielders, pitchers, like back catcher for sure. Even the umps nowadays, like the foul tips, you see the ump, like see that ump was it in the playoffs when it bounced down and up and oof, you could just see it. He was just like, it's not. But the funny part is about it, when one of your buddies gets nutted, it's almost impossible not to laugh. It's just one of those, it's like it's a natural instinct to laugh when you see someone get nutted, even though you know it hurts. Right? Like, remember when Matt Hendricks took the shot and there was like 3 orders on the bench? It was like, it just comes out. They're laughing. Like,
you're just so glad it wasn't you that got nutted that you laugh
God.
In like defense. Matt Hendricks taking that shot to the zone has got to be, we really don't think hockey players are the toughest. Like, you couldn't take a basketball to the groin and have it dent a cup.
Well, no, that's true.
And in football,
but the cup protected you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Matt Hendricks getting that one was one of the all-time injuries.
Oh, dude, that was a classic nut shot. There's no doubt about it. We'll take a quick break. We got some bids in. Let's get some more in. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. 100, 200, 500. We got one left at $1,000 to get in. All-Star Construction is offered to match the Pyramid of Giving on a Positive Friday. So let's get it rolling. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings.
They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. What's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder. With over 2 million raised for local charities and his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Jaffa Machinery. Jaffa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit jaffamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's Friday. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley with you, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. So we got Greg, Brian, and Jay came in at $100. Awesome. And Jason is in at 500 bones. So, hey, we are rocking and rolling now. Let's keep it rolling. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. So we're down to, we need 7 at 100, 6 at 200, 2 at 500, and only 1 at 1,000. If you want in on a positive Friday to help out adopted teens, it's a great charity. They could really use some extra funds right now for those teenagers that at times get left behind a little bit. So thanks for everybody. Can afford, hey, 100, 200, 500,000, whatever. Hey, you can be like Matt. He did 300, did 100, and 200. So we'll make it work. You do the math, whatever you like. And also we're at 5,500 for our auction item today to help out the Christmas Bureau. It is suite to the order game on the 6th of January. You get, of course, 2 parking passes. You'll get 12 seats in the suite and a $500 food and credit beverage. So there you go. Maybe you want to give yourself a little Christmas present. Get in there. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Lance is also in now at a hundo. Attaboy, Lance. Now, it is a lovely Friday. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. They got a lot of vehicles. but they got a bigger heart. $24 million that they have donated in the community where they work with their over 69 locations. GoAuto.ca. Wishing all of you a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays as Tyler Yaremchuk from Motors Nation and Daily Faceoff joins us. Ty, the Oilers, pretty solid victory last night. Obviously, it kind of got overlooked a little bit to the injury to Tristan Jarry. What's your expectation, and do you think it's Pickard tomorrow and then Ingram Sunday, or vice versa?
I think I lean more to going Pickard tomorrow. Minnesota red hot. If you look at every NHL team over the last 10 games, I think they have the 5th best offense in the NHL. Vegas is closer down to 22. Vegas, Shea Theodore, Jack Eichel aren't making the trip. So again, I think Minnesota is the more dangerous opponent at this point. So I'd want to go Pickard there. And I think there's also the added bonus of, give Connor Ingram a couple more days to maybe get acclimated. I don't know what word I'm trying to say there, but let him get more comfortable. Yeah, let him get more comfortable with his teammates, right? And then give him the start on home ice in Edmonton. I think Pickard first, Ingram next, and then honestly, you're probably leaning Pickard for the last game against Calgary before the brief little holiday break, although you probably leave it up to letting the goalies decide with their play, which is kind of the cool part about this next however long it's going to be Ingram and Pickard. It might be like hey, the best man gets to keep the job when Jarry's back.
When Jarry pulled himself from the game last night, Tyler, what level of face rubbing stress were you experiencing?
I don't know. Like, I get that there's this weird narrative out there that Tristan Jarry is injury prone, but I never bought into that. I love that you kind of got the numbers behind it, Greg's, and squashed that. In 3 of the last 4 seasons, he's played in north of 45 games. For a goalie, if you play in north of 45 games, that is considered being healthy by my books. Like, I don't know. I think people point to injuries. He's been in the NHL for like a decade. Like, he's obviously going to have some injuries at some point, especially at that position. So I'm not overly stressed about it. The fact it was one of those injuries where he could skate off the bench on his own power, or skate to the bench on his own power. Like, I'm not all that stressed about it. This is also a long-term acquisition for the Oilers. Like, they have Tristan Jarry for 2 more years after this one. He's not brought in to be some stopgap answer to help them win 10 in a row and save their season in December or whatever. Like, this is a guy who they brought in with the long-term vision in mind. So one injury right now, it's just not going to cause me to hit the fire Bowman button or whatever.
Oh no, definitely not. Now they moved Roslovic to LTIR just to give them a few extra days. I did do an injury update for any of the Order fans. If you're curious, I can kind of give you the full injury report because I took some time to dig into it. And here's basically what it is. So Jarry flew home today. He's getting evaluated. It's probably going to be out a week or 2 at least. Jake Wallman originally was deemed a bone bruise. The swelling went down, and then they found a slight fracture on the bone. So it's basically a 5 to 6 week injury. He's at week 4. So, 1 to 2 more weeks, which puts him probably in the new year. Roslovic is healing. He's now skating. Tuesday is a legit option for him. If it's not Tuesday, he'll play next Saturday against Calgary. Kapanen, everybody saw it. Well, we saw it. People saw the video. He re-injured himself in practice, just on a freak fluke play. He'll be in the new year. Klattenberg couldn't do anything for 2 weeks because of the swelling around his eye, the vision. So the doc's like, you can't get your blood right up anything, but now he's good. Everything's clear. He's fine. He's just because he couldn't do anything for 2 weeks. He just kind of got to get back in shape, but he will be very close. And then Philp, there was no concrete timeline. It's progressing, but probably not until maybe not until the new year for him. So that's the latest on those. I will say the one biggest positive I've seen the last week that I didn't expect, I really like to play this Spencer Stastny kid so far.
I mean, he absolutely flies. There was a play in the Pittsburgh game where he wasn't even at the blue line. They were in the O-zone, and he was a couple steps in on the blue line, and Pittsburgh flipped a high lob feed out. And I think it was Mantha who kind of got sprung, and it was a breakaway that turned into a partial breakaway because Spencer Stastny just turned on the Jets and absolutely flew back to catch him. So I love the fact that he can skate. Obviously, there's a history with him and Ty Emerson from the U.S. National Development Program, but those two, their styles, now that I've seen Spencer Stastny play a few times, they seem to really complement each other, right? Like, Stastny can play with a little bit of pace. That's always been the problem for Ty Emerson. I know you've brought up before, like, how many times Ty Emerson gets hit, and it's like, yeah, that's because he's not moving the puck fast enough. He's going back very slow, takes time to make his decision. I think both the Jari and Stasny acquisitions can help with that part of Ty Emerson's game, because Jari's a guy who can move the puck and put his defensemen in better positions, and Stasny now can be that puck mover on the pairing. And not that Brett Kulak was bad at it at all, but you had to move on from Kulak to make the Jari deal. I can understand that there's some hesitation going to Spencer Stasny because he's not as proven as a guy like Brett Kulak, but so far so good. Maybe you have a guy now that can actually be a player for you for the next however many years.
Oh, everything about him, like, to me, he looks like a younger Brett Kulak, just with a little bit more polish on his puck skills. That's kind of what I see there. Now, I'd have to see him in the playoffs, because Brett Kulak in the playoffs is one of those guys who massively elevates his game. Rarely did Kulak make any sort of big mistake, showed up. He's sneaky tough when need be. We've seen him drop the mitts a few times, so it's good. But I like that. I like that acquisition. Last night, Quinn Hudson scores his first NHL goal in Boston. And you know what? Like, he did exactly the scouting report we got from Keith Gretzky was basically bang on that play. Really strong on a stick. You go, but first of all, him and Jones, like, I know Draisaitl was on the ice, but this is a fourth line goal. Those two guys created the goal. They win the battle in the corner. Jones comes out of the corner and Hudson goes right to the net. Jones takes the shot, rebound, beats his guy to the puck, strong on it, bangs it home. Like, it solidified everything Gretzky said that Hudson has figured out, go to the net. And that's what you watch that replay, watch him basically sprint out of the corner to get to the net.
Yeah, and I know his skating's been something that's kind of been questioned coming up to the NHL, but for me, you can talk about speed in a whole bunch of different ways. Like, if a guy's not going to be the fleetest of foot, like a Stasny, who he can fly when he's in a straight line, I at least like when they have the ability, like a Quinn Hudson, to in these short little bursts, just make a play, and whether it's edge work, whether it's just pure strength, like, they can get to a spot quickly, make a decision quickly, and that's what I saw from Quinn Hudson last night. You mentioned that play. There was another one. It was in the first period, because we're going that way on the broadcast, but in the first period, he got the puck in the neutral zone, and again, not necessarily straight line speed, but he took a couple of really, really hard strides that kind of threw off the defenseman. Then he made a nifty move around the guy, and boom, all of a sudden he had space to make a decision. I was really impressed with his game last night. And listen, when everyone's healthy, there's a logjam on this forward group, and I should say if everyone gets healthy, because that's obviously never a guarantee in pro sports. But if everyone's healthy, there's a logjam. But man, if he can do what he showed last night, create space, create offense in the bottom six, I think he's a little scrappy as well, which you always want that from a guy who's going to be lower in your lineup. I think there's a chance he's going to get a handful more games here. Maybe he makes the decision for the Oilers really, really tough come January, when, a few guys are going to have to go back down to Bakersfield.
What are your thoughts, Tyler, on Matt Savoy with 7 goals, 35 games this season? What's a realistic? Can he keep this pace up? Is he going to be a 20-goal man, you think, in the NHL this year?
Yeah, I think it's funny when people last night, obviously Trent Frederick got a lot of time up on that second line with Podkolzin and Draisaitl. Those were actually Trent Frederick's 2 most common line mates in the game against Boston. And Savoy was down, I think, close 13:30 might have been his time on ice for the whole game. So, when people think about a 20-goal scorer in the NHL, I think they always kind of go, hey, he's going to score a goal once every 4 games. And it's like, no, that's not how 20-goal scorers work. They're going to go on stretches of 10 games where maybe they have 5 or 6 goals. Then, yeah, they're going to go 10 games without a goal. Like, not everyone in the league, very few players in the league who don't get power play time, which Savoy falls into that conversation like most other players do on the Oilers. It's going to be streaky. There's going to be stretches where the bounces go your way. But what I like about Savoy is whether the bounces are or aren't going his way. You can think back to the start of the year. The offense wasn't there, but you could watch a game and notice, like, okay, 5 or 6 times in that hockey game, I'd go, nice play, Matt Savoy. He's in the right spot. You're never wincing going, ooh, bad turnover or whatever. Like, he does so many good things away from the puck. It's why I laughed at the start of the year when, obviously there was a lot of Howard and Savoy talk. I was like, listen, Ike Howard, when their careers are said and done, I will bet you Ike Howard has one better statistical season than Matt Savoy ever has. But if I had to bet which one of those two ends up playing 1,000 games in the NHL, it is 100% Matt Savoy, because even when he's not at his best, he does a bunch of little things that coaches love. He earns their trust, and it allows him to stay in the lineup. Like, again, last night wasn't his great game. Do I have a problem that Chris Knobloch pulled him away from that second line for a little bit? Not at all. Some nights guys just don't have it. But when he doesn't have it, his play's not like overly offensive, and you're not sitting there being like, God, what is he doing out there, right?
No, not at all. And, last night, because you have to, at some point, you can't focus on 8 years, but Trent Frederick was engaged in the game last night. That they need more games like that from Trent Frederick. And if he plays like that more often, then he'll start to contribute a little bit. But I felt him more engaged. Maybe it's not surprising in the team he played on. And that might just, now he also played more minutes, so that helps for certain. But you know what? Like Savoy still played over 13 minutes. And I didn't mind Frederick last night. I thought he was more engaged than I seen, but he can't just do it one game. He's got to follow it up now. Like Minnesota has got some big bodies. I don't care about fighting, but he's got to be engaged, especially right now. They got a pretty small blue line in Minnesota.
Yeah, they're banged up right now. Like when that blue line's healthy, it's going to be the best in the NHL. But like Carson Lambos, who some listeners might remember from his WHL days, he was actually Matt Savoy's teammate in Winnipeg, but he's getting minutes right now and playing games for the Wild. So that's what's irritating for me with Frederick is like the games he has it, like last night, the things that people want to see from him to make him successful, like a lot of the times that they seem effort-based. And it's just like, God, if he's dialed in like he was in Boston, which was obviously a big game for him, his first game back against the Bruins, like, it's in him, which makes it all the more frustrating when he has those off games. I'm going to hijack this for a second, Greggs, and ask you a fun hypothetical that I asked Liam the other day. So this is a magic genie kind of question. It's not realistic at all. If Stan Bowman was given a wish from a magic genie and they said, you can either double the length of Vasily Podkolzin's extension, so turn it from a 3-year to a 6-year at its current number, or cut Trent Frederick's deal in half, which one do you think Stan Bowman would pick?
Oh, you're doubling Podkolzin all day long.
Really? You think?
Podkolzin is 2.95. Podkolzin right now, there's only 20 players in the NHL with more 5-on-5 goals than Podkolzin.
Wow.
He is just starting to scratch the surface offensively for him. Like that guy's doggedness is noticeable every game. He wins battles. And Podkolzin, he's out in practice early. Like some nights, some days if you have a meeting downtown, I get to it's not there all the time, but he's the one guy who's on the ice early, works with Connor Allen. Then after practice, like Draisaitl was just like, this guy, he has so much respect of his teammates because he's just and he doesn't do it to say, hey, everybody notice me. He just likes working on his game. He's like, I got to get better offensively because his effort doesn't have a problem with his cardio. Like watch the guy. He doesn't get tired late in shifts. But for me, if I could get Podkolzin for 6 years at 2.9, because the production he'll give you, it'll negate because Trent Frederick in 3 years at 3 point, that's going to be the going rate for bottom 6 guys. That's just what it's going to be. So no, I would take Podkolzin all day.
Yeah, and I love that you said that because I think it's easy and, it's low-hanging fruit for fan bases and people go, Frederick 8 years, garbage. Oh, Mangiapane, that's garbage. But, full marks to Stan Bowman for getting out ahead of this. And I think people who watch this team closely, last year, I was like, man, if Podkolzin just gets confident and starts shooting the puck more, there's a player who is going to explode here. Stick taps to Stan Bowman for getting out ahead of that extension because, boy, if you would have had to sign him right now at the end of this season, we're not talking about a $2.9 million AAV at all.
No, that is and that's the truth. You can't only ever look at the contract. Draisaitl's contract was unreal. You're always going to every team. I can go on teams that have a Trent Frederick that you don't like, and then you got a Podkolzin. Podkolzin's $1 million this year, and he's already got 9 goals. They're not even at the 40 game mark, right? And all his goals are 5-on-5. That's the other part. He's like, I'm not hitting the empty net. I'll just hit the crossbar. So that's that's how authentic he is right now. Ty, what happens on the weekend? Can the Oilers, that Minnesota game will be tough because Vegas is a little bit banged up. I think it makes sense probably to go Ingram there, but can they squeak out a win in Minnesota?
Yeah, 3-3 in their last 6 against the Minnesota Wild, I believe, are the Oilers. I remember a game last season, and it was right around this time in Edmonton. I don't think they were still playing well. They were rolling into Minnesota. That building used to be called the XL Energy or XL Ice Center, whatever it was. It was a house of horrors for a long time for the Edmonton Oilers. And I remember wincing they're going to get smoked 7-1 tonight. And they did the reverse. They somehow just stunned us and brought it to Minnesota, and they blew them out. Maybe they got a surprise in us tomorrow. This Minnesota team is playing some really, really good hockey right now, but that blue line being in the state that it is, Quinn Hughes had to play 32 minutes the other night. That's a career high for him. They're hot, but I think there's some areas the Oilers can expose. I'm going to give you the lame fence sitting prediction and just say it's going to be a 1-goal game either way.
All right. Ty, have a good weekend, buddy.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Greg.
There you go. That's Tyler Imchuk from Oilers Nation. We'll take a quick break. We got some updated numbers to get to on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Mr. Rooter decorates a gingerbread house.
Wow. What did you do here, Mr. Rooter?
Well, we've got a Jube Jube toilet, complete with an icing-based wax seal. The main water line is licorice, red for hot, black for cold. You got your standard marshmallow hot water tank and a candy cane sewer line. And on the outside, candy cone hose pips. Disgusting, but they get the job done.
To have your Yule clogs fixed, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sani dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
He's a winner.
Sweet.
She's a winner too.
Right.
Everyone's a winner during Wish and Win at Wolf GMC Buick. Every single customer is guaranteed at least a $500 bonus with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. At Wolf GMC Buick, we also have 0% financing up to 84 months on most of our popular SUVs and trucks. And we're clearing out remaining 25s, including cash discounts up to $10,000 on a great selection of Sierra HDs. 90 seconds east of the Henday. Wolf GMC Buick, where everyone wins.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Wilhock beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Wilhocking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Available at Wilhock Beef Jerky in Leduc. The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly, some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
The wrapping paper is coming off. The gift box is opening, and the crowd goes wild. When they want sports in their stocking, you'll find gifts that score big at St. Albert's Source for Sports. Jerseys and accessories, baseball, bikes, all kinds of skates, and everything else. It's all here, alongside expert advice from pros who know sports. Put the best sports brands under the tree for less with St. Albert's Source for Sports, your source for hockey and the best sports gifts for over 35 years.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with a Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$3:46. We are having a lovely, positive Friday. How are you, man? We recapture everything. So we are the Pyramid of Giving today is filling up nicely. So we are down to, we have 5 spots left at $100, 6 spots at $200, only 2 at $500, and 1 at $1,000. All right. And away you can rock and roll. So you want in 100, 200, 500, 1,000. We also had Sergey and everybody at All-Star Construction have stepped up. They're going to match the Pyramid of Giving today, which is outstanding. So thank you very much to them. If you know them, pass them along a big thank you. We're helping out Adopt a Teen, by the way, today. And that's basically the name. It's pretty self-explanatory. It helps teenagers. And there's lots out there at times you get overlooked because, we focus so much on the kids, which is great. But we get to that teenage year can be very uncomfortable. Many of us remember it. And it can be really hard when you just, you feel like you can't contribute. It's very hard. So a lot of them get overlooked. Like, think about it, man. Like, everybody's excited. Like, I know adults who get pumped open a gift. Right? Teenage years, come on. So can help them out. 100, 200, 500, or $1,000. And also, Evan is up to $6,500 on our package today for the Christmas Bureau and the suite. So that's awesome. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning. Brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charge. Pretty wintry now. Your furnace might be kicking out. Get it serviced, number one. Can save there. But if you need service or you need help getting it back going, no OT late at night, on the weekends. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam, of course, born with cerebral palsy. Never let him slow him down. He's been in a wheelchair and still rolling around the halls here, running into trees and everything today. But through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning. And on Fridays, Cam gives me the pleasure to read his 2-minute warning. Cons, cue the music. Gregor, we both had the pleasure, and oh my goodness, it was a pleasure to know and work with John Short. And John, God rest his soul, had a saying: we have the diplomatic right to disagree. If it wasn't so flippin' cold, I might suggest we take this thing outside. So let me slide some names and ages by you. Jordan Binnington, Aiden Hill, Matt Murray, all seized unexpected chances. Each began as a backup, keyword backup, or a third string goalie. Stepped in due to injury or opportunity, dominated on the biggest stage, won a Stanley Cup, and never gave the starting job back, turning brief chances into permanent NHL success. Some key numbers: Binnington, 31. So is Murray. Hill, 29. Now, Calvin Pickard, he's what? 33? April 15th, 1992. Being a career backup. But for my money, or at this time of year, credit, he earned my respect big time last playoffs. Remember, he had a 7-0 record. He won 4 in the first round against LA. Second round, Vegas Golden Knights won the first 2 before getting injured. Still with me now? Well, yeah, except your math, Kate. 4 + 2 is 6. Tater, I'll chirp you on that one. In Game 4 of the coveted Stanley Cup Finals against those Florida Panthers, Pickard came off the bench and helped lead the Oilers to a win. 7-0. Now you're doing it. Okay. The first Oiler goaltender to post such a record since Grant Fuhr did back in 1985. With Tristan Jarry on the shelf, I think Pickard has a shot at the Oilers' #1 goalie job. But I'm in the minority. Ran a poll. 13% said yes. 87% said no, which means, Tate, get your straw out of the eggnog. Before I go, I heard you talking about getting a soccer ball in the family jewels when you were 13. When I was 14, we were playing ball hockey in the basement with my Uncle Bob. I played goal on my hands and knees. We lost the ball. Uncle Bob searched my dad's workbench and found a puck. First shot, got me in the nuts. No can, of course. The pain, Gregor. The pain was so bad that I'm still not walking. Cam Tate, 2-minute warning. Sports 1440. Still not walking. What a jackass. So that's funny, actually.
Very well done.
Yeah, you can get away with this. Oh, that's it's true though. Hey, man, trust me, guys know. Now I don't know, ladies. Like, we should ask the ladies. Like, what happens when you get like, I don't know, like hit in the oven? I don't know, like
I think they get childbirth and we get getting nutted.
Yeah,
and that's the division of.
But what do you call it though, right? Like when everybody knows what you call when you get a nut. Like, what does a woman call? I'm just curious. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't think I've ever asked a lady that question. What do you call when you take one in the privates? Right? Like, they probably get a boob shot more than they would get a below the belt shot, I would think. But I'm just curious. The ladies, Karen actually just donated $200. Thank you very much, Karen. Feel free. Is there a term that the ladies use for that one? Just be curious.
Everyone can remember. I was in the field by the Jamie Platts playing soccer in the West End.
Okay.
And I rushed the goalie trying to make some magic happen and took a boot to the southern hemisphere. And I lay there on my side looking at traffic being like, is this the end? Like, is this the end of my days? I'm 12. Fortunately, I bounced back. I think everyone can remember though.
Oh, I don't know a guy. Connor, you remember your first one in the family jewels? Or maybe your hardest one?
Yeah. Just like Wanye playing soccer, I can remember one where not even the game, just like kind of kicking it around off the post, bullseye. Like I think it gained speed off the post, and it just dropped me.
Yeah,
crippling.
Yeah. Well, hey, I played hockey with a buddy who lost the nut. Yeah, because his can, when the shot came, his can somehow one of the berries had been outside the can, and literally off. And guys are very sympathetic to that, right? Like we call them one nut, one ball. Like
very nice.
Yeah, that shows you care, right? That shows you care. If you can't joke about it after the fact, are you really friends? Did it really happen? I don't know.
That's got to have been horrific to witness and worse to go through.
Well, just the pain, right? Like, because literally you didn't know at the time because you got all your hockey pants on. It's not like someone's. So it's like it hurts, but you don't know how bad it was. Like. Thankfully, like when he went off the ice into the room, I wasn't there because that's just the thought of it right now. Like it gives you the shivers, man.
At the risk of ruining Positive Friday, hit us with some stories because everyone's got one horror story.
Oh, for sure. I like it. All the guys are texting and like they know the term for a girl getting hit there. Not one girl's texting. You guys you're just making up terms. This isn't what you call it, right? Not what you call it. Just curious. I might have to text my wife. She might give me the answer. So, text your wife. Let her know. See, I'm being curious. Maybe the ladies don't even have a name for it. Right? They're maybe a little bit more refined. I don't know. Like I have a lot. I think I would call it. I just don't know if that's the right one or not. So, hey boys, I almost drove off the road. Cam's comments about still not walking. Great stuff from Jerry. Oh, yeah, try reading it. True. It's good times, man. My wife says they call getting canned. All right. Guys, female soccer coach. It's called getting boxed. That's kind of what I thought, maybe, but I wasn't 100% sure. So.
That's a coach, though. That's an authority.
Well, that's coach, her name's Michelle, so I'm gonna believe Michelle.
Yeah,
on this one, I'm not putting that wasn't my term. Just for anybody out there, that was Michelle's term. So trust the soccer coach, Michelle, because it's probably where it's happened a few times. I'm guessing though, like it's just not going to be the same pain, right? It's just a different pain. Sure, it's uncomfortable, but. Not the same.
It's weird evolutionarily that we're that exposed to something who can hurt us that much. Don't you think?
Oh, I guess.
Like as a wild animal where you like look at the fish in the ocean, they develop a lightning ball in front of their fish heads.
I can tell you, I've seen a dog take one. I've seen a bull take him. Like, trust me. Like when you remember, there's the video of the bear, right? That was at that park and swung it into his own nutters. What? Oh, yeah, I was playing like, of course, man. It doesn't matter who you are. You take one in the junk. It doesn't matter what animal you are.
The other bear was laughing at him.
Oh, probably.
It's pretty hilarious if you're a bear.
Oh, it's always funny as long as it's not you. Like that's what's like. I remember the first time playing mini sticks with my son, and like I was like the greatest and worst dad at the exact same moment, right? Because I introduced him to that because he was just like he took the shot and I could just see it. It was like a delayed reaction, like. What is this pain? Oh my God.
You should. Oh, I see.
Oh, it's funny.
At least you're playing mini sticks.
Oh yeah. Like nowadays, like, cause like he got me the other day, but the ball doesn't hurt. Like it's just like one of those, oof, but you're not like, It's not a down on knees, gasping for air, sucking it back. Like, how guys know the difference. Like, there's a difference. So, yeah, we got a lot of confirmation. Many other ladies now. It was like they just needed someone to say it for them. And now Karen, Allie, Jen all agree that it is they call it the box. So there we go. Thank you, ladies. Now we know. Now we know the official term because it's important.
Now we've learned.
Hey, if we're not educating you, what are we doing? Right? We're educating you on the real things that matter in life, just like that. So let's take a quick break. We'll get back on track. We'll talk some hockey. The Oilers, fans, it's kind of a mixture. You're excited. The Oilers team's playing well, 6-1-1 in their last 8, but now Tristan Jarry is down. We don't know for how long. Came back to Edmonton. Is going to get reevaluated today to see the extent of it. But Connor Ingram has been recalled. Jack Roslovic has moved to LTIR. Now he's eligible because he's already missed 10 games in 24 days. And I don't think he's going to play. Well, he's not playing tomorrow. I don't expect him to play Sunday, but there's a real chance he could play on Tuesday. I remember talking to him before he left on the road trip, and that was his goal. That was his shooting for. He wanted to try to get there. He's feeling a lot better once he could walk again. So, obviously he's a little tougher than Tater. Tater's still not walking, but he is. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. From tires and wheels to oil changes, vehicle repairs, they have you covered. Visit fountaintire.com and book your appointment today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Some news and notes for the Oilers. They've placed Tristan Jarry on the IR. Also moving Jack Roslovic to the LTIR. Recalling Connor Ingram from Bakersfield. Oilers in action tomorrow taking on Minnesota. Then the Golden Knights on Sunday. In the NHL on the ice, you got the Canes and Panthers. Canucks travel to New York taking on the Islanders. Avs host the Jets. Devils in Utah. And the Ducks up against the Stars in the association. Heat travel to Boston. Knicks taking on the Sixers. Spurs and Hawks. Cavs host the Bulls and the Thunder in Minnesota. BCHL, Spruce Grove in Brooks tonight, taking on the Bandits. That'll get going just after 7 in the AJ. You've got 5 games, including the Kodiaks in Calgary. Wolverines meet the Bobcats in Drayton Valley, heading to Bonnyville. And college football playoffs get going tonight. Number 8, Oklahoma hosting number 9, Alabama. 6 o'clock kickoff right now in the Gasparilla Bowl. NC State on top of Memphis, 31-7. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions and be joined by former NHL general manager and current TSN analyst Craig Button. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Boxing Week blowout starts early at the Brick. Find real Boxing Day prices early and beat the rush on the 26th. Score the best deals on electronics and appliances. Plus, save up to $1,000 off sectionals. Buy more, save more, up to 25% off bedroom and dining, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to $500 off big screen TVs. Don't wait for the crowds. Shop the Brick's Boxing Week Early Access event. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
After 20 years, Canada's most prestigious international hockey tournament returns. The Camrose Viking Cup, December 28th to January 4th at Encana Arena. Tickets at vikingcup.ca. Brought to you by Sports 1440.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. What's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada, prices exclude delivery.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio, from weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock on a lovely, positive Friday. Welcome back. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And oh my goodness, could give yourself an early Christmas present tonight. Lotto Max, $80 million and 23 Max Millions. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, if you like, you can get the Jason Gregor Show odds boost. Did another one last night with the Oiler win and McDavid 2-pointer. Boom. So we are going a little NFL one on. So we're going the Bengals with the points, which is 4.5, and we're taking Cardinals are at home, and but they're an underdog. So we're gonna go with the. We're gonna ride the Cards there a little bit, and then you know what? We went rarity for this one. We went Oilers to win, but under 6.5. Oilers and Wild. Little combo there. If you're thinking maybe a defensive battle. The Oilers probably going to be a little bit more aware defensively, and Minnesota doesn't give up a lot. Like that could be a 2-1, 3-1 game all day long tomorrow. So if you're feeling it, check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. Also, we got Karen and Elvis each coming in at $200. Thank you very much. Jason and Larry are in at $100. So we're in the single digits, boys and girls. We need 3 100s, 2 200s, 2 5, and 1 1,000. That's it. So, and we'll fill out the pyramid for Adopt a Teen, and we have All-Star Construction is matching it today. Sergey and the gang down at All-Star. That's unbelievable. Got a really nice email from them, unexpected, in the 3 o'clock hour. So your donations all week and everything motivated them. Also, Evans at 6,500 on the suite for the Oilers game on the 6th of January with 12 seats, the 2 parking passes underground, and a $500 food and beverage. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 for that. But let's fill out the pyramid today. We're helping out Adopt a Teen, 100, 200, 500, or 1,000. And heck, if you want to do 300, we split them up. We can do that. If you want to do 4, you make the number. But we're looking for minimum 100 just so it keeps it round. So very much thank you for that. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We have lots of texts flying in. Man, some of you got some classic nut shots for sure. But we also have some actual sporting questions, which is good. But there are some of them that are quite wild, man. They are quite wild.
Are you telling me it was a bad idea to suggest on open radio, tell me stories of getting nut shot?
Oh, there's some of them are pretty funny. Hey guys, you know what? Me and my friend became best friends watching someone get nutted and watching them in pain. It's a very odd thing, but it's led to a great friendship. See, hey, you know what? We bond over different things in life. Doesn't matter how you became friends, but it's probably a funny story that you'd always remember. So I get it. That's good. Hey, Greg's, when Roslovic comes back, who comes out of the top 6, or does he stay in the bottom 6? Oh, I think Roslovic has earned the opportunity to go back into the top 6. My gut's going to say Nugent Hopkins, because Chris Knobloch has mentioned Nugent Hopkins many times as a center iceman, likes him as a center iceman. And like both his points last night were on special teams, power play goal. Nice goal, shorthanded assist, nice assist. Nuge has never been a real big 5-on-5 point producer. So Jack Roslovic was scoring lots. So why not put a score there? And Nugent Hopkins, because then that means if Henrique's my fourth line center, or maybe, and Lazar when he's back healthy, or, I shouldn't say he's not healthy, but he's banged up a little bit. Not on the IR or anything like that, but, there's a lefty-righty combination. I actually liked how Lazar's played so far this season. So that just strengthens your team, right? You have Kapanen and Nugent Hopkins on your third line. And, maybe Frederick gets going, because ideally that's where he would be playing. You would like it there. So, and, they can move guys around. Matt Savoy might go up or down. I don't think, as you know, it's not like the Oilers are going to get three lines and just stick with them the rest of the way. Nobody does that, right? You're moving guys around. Somebody's in a funk. Okay, we'll move them up. But in the course of a game, the lines switch anyway. But I like the flexibility. When you look around the league, what's Minnesota need? Center iceman. What's Colorado want? Center iceman. Right? Everybody wants center iceman. The Oilers got a lot of them. And they got two elite ones. And then they got some other good ones. So for me, if it makes my team better, my third line stronger, and I can find top six scoring wingers, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting Roslovic in the top six for me. So that's to me, it makes the most sense. And it gives you some flexibility. It doesn't mean that he being Nugent Hopkins is never going to play the wing again. And he might at certain times, late in games, he's a pretty responsible player. So I understand all those reasons. But man, I really liked how Roslovic was playing. And the fact that after taking that nut shot, he came back in the game and scored a goal. That's pretty damn impressive for me. So I would have him. I think he's earned the right to not lose a spot in the top six due to an injury. That's how I would say it.
It's interesting how new underdog role players exist. Like Roslovic was not a player I was familiar with. Podkolzin wasn't that familiar with him until they arrived. But there are players that can come in and kind of immediately give you a boost with their work ethic and their energy. And there's seemingly an inexhaustible supply of them if you know where to look.
Well, the energy guys are like, I look at Podkolzin's a great example of how one person, him and Rick Tocchet didn't get along. And at the time, so the organization says, well, okay, we're not getting rid of our coach, so we're going to move Podkolzin. And the fact that they moved him in the division is a little surprising to me. But at that point, they were just like, meh, because Podkolzin came in his rookie year at 20 years of age, scored 14 goals. Then the next 2 years, he was half in the American League, half in the NHL, and I think had like a total of 3 goals. And wasn't, they thought he had regressed. And it's a great example of nobody's development is just always on the escalator going up. It isn't. Some guys will go down a bit. They might go down a few rungs and then kind of come back up. And I know that Podkolzin was not a fan of Tocchet. They just didn't see eye to eye. And some coaches, someone has coached you and you think he's a great coach, and one of your own teammates is like, I can't stand that guy. It happens, right? It's going to depend on every relationship is different. And, there's very few coaches that everybody loves it all the time. It's hard to do, right? Because I think if all your players love you as a coach sometimes, now I'm talking at the higher levels, like at the young kids level, they should all think coach is fun and exciting. That's great, right? But, you get a little bit older, I'm talking, you're going to have coach, because sometimes you got to push a guy. And at the time, I remember like Paul Coffey's told the story many times. At the time, he hated Sather. Then he realized he made me a way better player and how he worked. And, he really respected it, kind of when you took a step back. But in the moment, not necessarily the biggest fan. So
there's a lot of professional athletes, the carrot and the stick. They need or / want the stick. They need to have the enemy in the room.
Yeah, for sure. And Greg's probably talked about it, but what's your gut feeling on the length of time Jari's out, Doug? Honestly, Doug, I'd be making kind of an uneducated guess, but I'm just going to go off of the doctors that I talked to who think it's a strain. But they did say oblique strain, groin strain, core muscles, they're different. So which one is it? I don't know. They said anywhere from, depending on the severity of it, could be a week to 4 weeks, depending. Now, obviously, goalies have to have the lateral mobility. It's a must, right? And there's a lot of strain in there. When you're going across, you see them doing the splits, you're pushing all the cross, their core muscle area, man, that's the moneymaker for them. It just is. So you would hope that it's, shorter. Like they do have 3 days off. It's not like it's a long time on the Christmas break. for the Edmonton Oilers because they play 3 games in 4 days. So I don't see him playing before Christmas. I'm going to say minimum he's missing 3 games. I can say minimum he's going to miss 3 games. I'd be surprised. Like he flew back to Edmonton, so he's obviously not playing tomorrow. He's not going to play Sunday, right? And then I doubt they're like, oh, he had a little strain. We're going to play. Like, why would you play him Tuesday when he could have 3 more days off? So minimum it's 3 games. Then they play the 27th, the 29th, and the 31st to wrap up the month. So if he's out, today is he got hurt on the 18th. So if it's 2 weeks, that would be 6 games he would miss. Now, if you get into if it's 3 weeks, well, now you're up to 9 games. And if it's 4 weeks, it's 13 games. So that's kind of where you're at on. But I can't say with any sort of certainty. It would just be a guess at this point. Hey, Greggs, would you put Regula back in the lineup? I thought Stillman played pretty well. Well, it's a good question because I really liked, the guy I really liked was Stastny. I really liked him, and he's playing. You know what? He was playing the right side, and I thought he played pretty well. He's very mobile. Now he's not a natural right defender, so I'm sure that comes into play. And Regula was only sick, but as we know, sometimes sickness can last a little bit longer than you would expect, and depending on how sick you were, how depleted you became. Because I'm looking at the minutes on the back end, and Stastny played 19, right? Stillman played 11, but if Regula comes back in, now it's easy to just say, okay, we put Stastny back on the left side, Regula back on the right side, and that's probably what happens. I don't think they're going to say, hey, Stastny, you play the opposite side, and now we're going to ask Regula to play the opposite side. So I'm going to guess that Stillman would be the guy that comes out. Like I just look at minutes played. Regula's in. He's been playing way more than 11 minutes, so I think he's going to come back in once he's ready, and rightfully so. Hey, guys, with all these guys injured, what happens cap-wise when they come back? Well, lots of guys are on LTIR, right? So Clattenburg, to me, once he's healthy, he's probably going back down. You got Jones, you got Hudson. There's 3 bodies that, so when guys come back, they can go down. It's not the huge end of the world. Now, there is some, cap limitations, like especially depending on if Jari's only on IR, that, because you got to remember, he's a 5.3 cap hit. It's a much different deal. So that's going to eat up a lot of your cap. So that's going to change some things. Tomasic, somebody else. Yeah, when you get everybody healthy, which is still a few weeks away, then they will have some decisions. No question about it. They'll have some decisions to be made, and have to be a 22-man roster at that point. You might have to send somebody down. I haven't crunched all the numbers now with who they'd be cap compliant, because they're not like I could waste the time doing it, and then it changes in a week because guys aren't healthy. So I'm going to wait till they're down to like 1 or 2 guys left, and you're like, okay, now we'll start to see, because a few of the moves are pretty easy and obvious. They're not big numbers, but like Wallman, he's 3.4. He comes off LTIR. You gotta make room for 3.4 million. You can't just send one guy down, right? Like I don't think it's going to be. I don't think at all it's going to be a guy like Tomasic, sure, but not anybody else. Hey, Gregor, Regula should go down. Stillman and Stastny should stay. Dude, John, that's just a complete overreaction. You're going to risk putting Regula on waivers because you like Stillman played 1 game? Like, come on, man. Like that doesn't, I'm sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. You can't they're not doing that. It's an irrational thing to say. 1 game. I want to throw down the young defenseman and risk losing him to waivers. 0 chance. 0 with a capital Z. No question about it. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. So, how about this? We just got one of the big ones knocked off. I love it. Pearl is in at $1,000. Got the note? That is my lovely mother, who is in for 1,000. So good for Mama G. Thank you very much, Mom. So that means now we have 2 500s, 2 200s, and 3 100s. So let's fill that up here. 833-401-1440. It's for the teens. It's Adopt a Teen. It's a positive Friday. Your hockey team's winning. Maybe you had a good week. Maybe you got a good date. Who knows? Maybe you had a good divorce. It all depends on what makes you happy. Whatever it is, maybe you can find something $100, $200, and 2 at $500. Let's fill out the pyramid of giving today for Adopt a Teen, and we will help out. Well, actually, they will help out with All-Star Construction. They're going to match it, so we'll get to 75 or 1,500. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. So that's only 7 people. 2 500s, 2 200s, and 3 at 100. So let's get that rocking and rolling right now here on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
It's like a locker room, minus the smell.
Ew.
Kevin Carius brings the banter, the buzz, and the bold sports talk. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440, Edmonton's home for sports.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Boxing Week blowout starts early at the Brick. Find real Boxing Day prices early and beat the rush on the 26th. Score the best deals on electronics and appliances, plus save up to $1,000 off sectionals. Buy more, save more. Up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and up to 40% off mattresses, and $500 off big screen TV. Don't wait for the crowds. Shop the Brick's Boxing Week early access event. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
Reason number 59 why Nissan is built for our winter. Because when winter storms make on-road feel like off-road, we've got you. Rogue comes standard with intelligent all-wheel drive and remote engine start to conquer even the harshest winter conditions. Now, lease a 2026 Rogue S for 0.9% for 36 months, or get $4,000 cash purchase bonus on remaining 2025 models. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information. Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
I'm Saxon, and this is my little sister Goldie. I'm Goldie, and this is my little sister Saxon. Wait a minute. I'm the big sister around here.
And I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and these are my granddaughters. They like to help with the holiday commercials. It's sort of a tradition in our family. And since they moved from Australia to Nashville, we get to see them more than ever.
It's nice to live in the same hemisphere with Grandma and Papa.
That's right, Saxon. And at No Bull, the holidays are all about family. And really, that's what camping is all about, too.
Maybe I should come work for you at your store, Papa. I can make the Goldie cakes.
Maybe in a few years.
Papa says used RVs are way better than new RVs.
That's right, Saxon. You learn quickly. So what do you have to say to all the people listening on the radio?
Happy Christmas to everyone in Canada.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? By Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Martin, Eric, and Bruce all come in at 100. Boom! And also Declan and Tater. So we got a little extra at the hundreds. I like it. So now we're down to only two 200s, two 500s. Okay? Now, I guess, hey, if we want to break up one of the 500s into 5 other hundreds, hey, we'll do whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. So we'll just, if we got 10 people who want to do $100, that's fine too. But so let's get in and we want to fill out that pyramid for Adopt a Teen. They could really use it right now. It's a positive Friday. Everybody's in a good mood. You're close to last Friday before Christmas. Some of you may be starting to say, okay, now I'm sharpening up my late second shopping skills. Hey, whatever it is, man, hope you're ready to roll. Have some fun, and let's help out the Adopt a Teen today. So $200 and $500 donations is what we're looking for, 2 of each to fill out the pyramid. But like I said, we'll take hundreds and just add them all up to get to that extra total. Doesn't matter to me how we get there as long as we get there, which would be fantastic. So the more the merrier for Adopt a Teen, whether it's 10 people at 100, 2 people at 500 each, it doesn't matter as long as we get there. So 833-401-1440. Now, coming up, we're going to talk a little hockey. Craig Button from TSN will be joining us momentarily. Oilers, we're also going to talk a little World Juniors, the Canada team we announced. The Olympic team, we are under 2 weeks away from that announcement, as of course it will come out on the 31st of January. And I crunched some numbers. You can read the article at Oilers Nation today, but I really think I've talked a lot about Evan Bouchard's playoffs. You can't argue it. Playoff production is outstanding. His play since November 1st is elite. And I was looking at him versus the other 9 defensemen that are kind of in the conversation for the Canadian Olympic team. And I crunched just 5-on-5, right? Because you know what? That's where the majority of the game is going to be. And I think everybody knows Bouchard. Hey, kills penalties. You can also play in the power play, no problem. But I was looking at it. So I had Jacob Chikrin, Bouchard, Makar, Schaefer, Theodore, Harley, Taves, Sanheim, Morrissey, and Parayko. Those are the 10 D-men. I think they might be battling for the 8 spots. Obviously, Bouchard's right up there in points, 5-on-5. Chikrin 16, 8 goals too, by the way. Makar 14, Bouchard 13. And Bouchard's played 399 minutes since November 1st, 5-on-5. Makar's at 370. Chikrin's at 420. Here's where it gets interesting. Is I was looking at the team's goal for percentage without their star guys on the ice. So when Bouchard's on the ice since November 1st, they've outscored opposition 27-10. Bouchard 10 goals against, Schaefer 10 goals against, Chikrin 10 goals against, Makar 10 goals against. It's the fewest goals against. Right? Makar on he was 68%. Bouchard, that might have been wrong. I got to reconnect that. I think there's something calibrated wrong there. But either way, pretty good. The difference is when they're off of the ice. Since November 1st, Bouchard's off the ice. The Oilers have been outscored 45-22. Chikrin off of the ice in Washington. And they're 31-27. They're still +4, but they're 31-10 when he's on the ice. So pretty big difference. Here's how good the Avs are right now. Makar, when he's on the ice, is 22-10, so +12. When he's off of the ice, they're 43-18. Like, really good. So when you say, Bouchard, maybe it's because of who he plays with. No. Bouchard, yes, it helps that you play with McDavid and Draisaitl, but he doesn't always play with them. And when he's off the ice, they would have been getting crushed. He's been really good since November. And so to me, that puts him right in the mix for Team Canada. We'll see what our next guest thinks about it as we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center. If you don't have plans yet for New Year's, hey, guess who's playing? Mr. Cowboy Hat himself, Brett Kissel. We'll be like, that's an unbelievable venue for a concert, man. Small, but not too small. Going to pack in. I think they can fit close to 2,000 people in there for New Year's. You'll have a great time. It's a great concert and a sick venue. So if you're looking for some fun on New Year's Eve, check it out. Good date night, good fun night. Silent Ice Center and Brett Kissel to ring in the new year as Craig Button from TSN joins us. Butts, how you doing, my man?
I'm great, Jason. How are you on this Friday the 19th, 6 days before Christmas?
Oh, you know what? I'm pretty good. I'm stress free. I've got my shopping done, so that's a nice. That's nice. I can take that for sure.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
We are a few weeks away from the Olympic announcement for Team Canada. And I had I listed those 10 defensemen: Bouchard, Theodore, Morrissey, Parayko, Schaefer, Chikrin, Sanheim, Harley, Makar, Taves. Is there any other D-men you think in the running for that?
I know Mike Johnson and I at one point we had Montour in the running.
Okay.
But again, evaluation continues on. Evaluation is not in a period of time of 1 month or 5 weeks. You got to continue on, and so. When you're evaluating, you're looking at what a player has done historically, what he's done under big moments, and I don't think there's any question that Brandon Montour has performed in an outstanding manner in big moments. But you got depth, you got a lot of good players. You got, it's an embarrassment of riches, really, what it is, Jason, for Hockey Canada, and it's on the blue line, it's up front. And where it isn't is in the net. And I'm not suggesting that somebody or some buddies can't step in and do the job, but I think that's the biggest decision that Hockey Canada management is going to have going into the Olympics. And I think there's capable guys. Question is Jordan Binnington going to be named? Because if it was me, he would not be on the team.
Well, it's hard to argue that the way he's played, 100%. I have him as my number 3 just because I had Kemper and Thompson ahead of him. But you're right. He has not played very well at all. There's other guys who are based on the play this year. And hey, yeah, he played a really good gold medal game last year. Whatever. It's not a gold medal, I guess, whatever we call it. But his first 3 games in that tournament didn't have a 900 save percentage. He was all right. Wasn't great. Wasn't called upon much. But in the final, he was quite good. And so, but that's one game in a span of 100 other ones where he hasn't been very good. So your point makes a lot of sense. What about Connor Bedard, Craig? Because I had him on my team, but now the shoulder injury. Do you think that's going to impact him?
Well, we don't know. Here's what I would say. If you're the hockey management team and you're evaluating players, Connor Bedard has done everything to earn a spot on Team Canada. And that comes up on December 31st. Now, the Olympics don't start until the second week of February. So you get a chance. You can name them. You can get a chance. They're going to get medical reports from the Chicago Blackhawks on him. I mean, that's just the way it works. And they're going to be able to see where he's at. They're going to be able to watch him. And then you have to have the conversation with Connor. If we name you to the team or you name to the team, we're going to be watching you. We're going to make sure that we can have the confidence that you're 100%. You got to tell us. It's not. You can't hinder us if you're somewhere below what your capabilities are, and we got to carry you. So I think there's 2 parts to this. There's the part that he should be named to the team based on how well he's played. And if he's not ready, you take him off and you replace him.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. So he might make it 100%. It's kind of like Bo Horvat. I think Bo Horvat is definitely in the mix. But when you're there and some guy's healthy, geez, do we take him and then not have to put the guy on? So it's a tough decision to see who's going to make that team. Like Macklin Celebrini, Craig, it's not even a discussion for me, really. That guy's a no-brainer. He's on the team.
So it's interesting. We had him playing the wing, Mike Johnson and I changed my thinking on it. Crosby's going to play with McKinnon to start off. The third best center for Canada is Macklin Celebrini after 97 and 29, respectively, Edmonton and Colorado's, superstars. And Celebrini's the third best center. And I started to think, why not leave him at center? Why not put him in a position where he can say, why have him play out of position when he's already excelled? And in my view, the third best center for Team Canada with Crosby playing on the left wing. That's what I would do. If Macklin Celebrini isn't on the team, seriously, somebody's made a huge mistake.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't think there's any question about it. What about the World Junior team, Craig? Not a real lot of discussion or debate about this team. Seems like it's, nothing's ever 100% agreement, but there doesn't seem to be any real big surprises. A lot of people are pretty happy with who made that squad.
Yeah, when you're Hockey Canada, they went to a new format, hiring a full-time GM and Alan Miller, and making Byron Benora, who's the chief scout now. They go out and they watch these players, and they watch them over a long period of time. Alan has the great benefit of having watched these players for a number of years. Byron Benora has the same ability or the same background with respect to watching these players. So now, why are you coming to camp trying to evaluate players? Shouldn't you have already done that? It's like cramming for an exam the night before. Wait a sec, you had weeks. You knew the exam time. Why are you doing that? And I give Scott Salmon a lot of credit. He looked at it. He said, okay, we got to do some things differently. Hiring the full-time GM and then getting to camp and not looking at it as an evaluation as to, who's going to be our 13th, 14th forward? Who's going to be our 7th, 8th defenseman? Doesn't matter. You want to get the team prepared. You want to get the team, as Dale Hunter said, understanding what the structure is we want to play. We want to get them comfortable with that. So I think what they did in the evaluation was fantastic. It's not about, he played good. Look at who was good this scrimmage. Wow, he should be on the team. No, it's a long evaluation. I think they have the people that do it really, really well. And now it gives Dale Hunter and the coaching staff a real chance to see how players, and they're playing good competition in Sweden, and see how the players respond and where they're going to be comfortable playing. And I think that it's something that's really, really positive for them, because again, I'm going to emphasize it. You're spending time on the 13th, 14th forward and the 7th, 8th defenseman. That's what I call a colossal waste of time.
Greg Button from TSN joins us. Craig, what's your thoughts on, Tristan Jarry gets banged up. We don't know how severe it is. Obviously came back to Edmonton's not going to play tomorrow. They've recalled Connor Ingram. And, at least for 3 games, and who knows how long it lasts. But what's your expectations, if any, of Connor Ingram?
It's a good question. I mean, who's not rooting for Connor Ingram, right? We're all rooting for Connor Ingram. He's been very open about trying to find a way back to where he's comfortable playing physically and mentally. And I think we're all rooting for him. But if you've looked at what he's done in the American Hockey League, he's not even a good American Hockey League goaltender. So, he's got the experience of having played in the NHL. He knows his way around. So that might be a benefit. And certainly I think they have to look to Calvin Pickard to go and carry the load here for the next little while. But that's my. I think they have expectations of Connor Ingram coming in and being up to NHL level. I don't see that. I don't see that as a rational thinking pattern.
Yeah, no, that I totally would agree with you on that. The Oilers have found their game here. There's no question. They're done their Eastern road swings, Craig. They've already played 21 road games. They don't have to go out East at all the rest of the year. It's the earliest ever in franchise history. And, that's going to cut down, all their real big travel is done for the season. They got to go to Pacific Division. Nashville, I think, is the farthest place they have to go once the rest of the year. How much, do you think that's an advantage as it kind of accumulates into that second half when you don't have much long road trips anymore?
Yes, yeah, no question it is. Keep in mind you have a compressed schedule. Keep in mind that there's going to be players coming back from the Olympics that not only have to participate in the compressed schedule, but they're going to be taxed, and the demands on them at the Olympics are going to be pretty significant. So when you can eliminate and reduce travel, which allows you to recover better, which allows you to be fresher, that's a real positive. So certainly this is something that has to be looked upon. with a positive light. And I think that it can definitely help the Edmonton Oilers. And not just now, but leading into the Olympics and coming out of the Olympics, I think it's nothing but positive for the Oilers.
If you're Edmonton and you could have your druthers, would you get a scoring winger or another center and keep Nugent Hopkins as a winger?
Yeah, it's a great question, Jason. And I think that you explore along a parallel path. You look at what you can do with respect to, a scoring winger. You also look at what the market could be for a third line center. And I don't think you have to separate those two. I think you can put your efforts and really focus your attention on those two areas. You were talking about Evan Bouchard earlier, and the numbers speak volumes. I mean, there's no debating that. But I think and I'm not even talking about the Olympic team with Evan Bouchard. I think what it really tells you, and there's two parts to this. The first part is it tells you that the Oilers don't have very much depth, and I don't think they do. I don't think they have strong enough depth to be a serious contender at this time. Now, because you have McDavid and Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, you can swing Podkolzin up there, you can swing Savoy up there, and they can do their thing. It's behind those guys that I think that the Oilers' biggest weakness is. So if Podkolzin slides down to a third line role because you get a scoring winger, check mark. If you can find a center that can play in the third line hole, push Adam Henrique down, check mark. Listen, they've done some things to try to explore what different players could fit in at different spots. Now they got a really good evaluation of their team, and now when I say you can pursue parallel paths here, I think that's where they have to go. I'm not worried about their ability to get on the right side with McDavid and Draisaitl. It's what happens when those guys aren't out on the ice and how it falls off. And I think those numbers are pretty significant when you're talking about Bouchard and tell a story, and hence why I think they have to. I don't think it's one player they need. I think they need two.
Well, I look at, you got Roslovic and you got Kapanen coming back. Like, where do you think those guys fit in?
Well, I think Kapanen's a fourth line player. That's what I think. I don't think, he can kill penalties and whatnot. He's got wild inconsistencies in his game. The good's real good. And then you fall off and go, where was Kasperi tonight? And that's been his career. Jack Roslovic has been a fantastic find here. So if Jack Roslovic's going to play up the lineup, what do you do with Savoy? Where do you play Savoy? To me, that's the question mark. Because to me, Savoy's not a third line winger. He's not a fourth line winger. So what happens then? What happens in that regard? And quite frankly, is there an opportunity to explore a player that can come in and be a really good third line center? Maybe the price is Matt Savoy.
Yeah, well, Savoy could stay there. I still think Chris Knobloch said it many times. He likes Nugent Hopkins as a centerman. I think we're going to see Nuge as a centerman, maybe more than not down the stretch. And they can always experiment and move it around, which makes it exciting. Before I go, Craig, I do want to ask, I don't know if you've seen the story that has come out today. And I want to it was reported by Ben Leipka and out of Abbotsford that the Abbotsford Canucks players have still not received their Calder Cup rings, and no one seems to know when or if they're actually going to arrive. It's December 19th, Greg. And when I hear the Vancouver Canucks organization, it's the media. They're the most dysfunctional, disrespectful organization going to not get the rings for your AHL players. I never heard of this. This is beyond disrespectful and frankly cheap.
Well, I think when we start to look at what the players went and did under the guidance of Manny Malhotra, those players played hard. They dug in. They found a way to get on the right side of it and win a championship. And the rewards that they get from achieving that together are forever. But the symbolic part of it is the ring. And it's important because the players want to show off that ring. They want to say, look what we got. And it's something that kind of just pulls it full circle. The experiences are great, but the ring goes, this is the story. So you ask your players to go down there, you ask them to play hard, you ask them to dig in and do the things that are necessary for their development and to help the team win, and they do all that. And I think you nailed it with the word disrespectful. It's not respecting your players. It's not valuing what they've done. And quite frankly, there's no place for it. And we're talking about every franchise in the National Hockey League being worth over $1 billion.
Yep.
Like, let's evaluate it from that perspective, and then you look at it at what they haven't done. And again, if there's rationale for it, then please tell us. But at the same time, if there's no rationale and this is lagging, the disrespect is enormous.
Yeah, for sure. Craig, have a great Christmas. Have a happy holidays, and enjoy it, because I know you're getting to work on the World Juniors right away. So enjoy a little Christmas break before then. I
will, yeah, and to you and your family and the great listeners on your show and everybody that participates. I'm so honored to be part of it on a weekly basis. I always enjoy it, and I hope everybody gets the joys of the holiday season with their friends and their loved ones.
Awesome, Craig. Have a great day, my man.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Craig Button from TSM. We got a lot of text. Guys, Button said last year we didn't have enough depth. 2 years in a row. Yeah, like depth is obviously everybody's going to have a different opinion on it. I'm basing mine on what I saw last year and earlier this year, which obviously is a small sample size. But I think Kapanen, if he continues to play how he has, he's a third line player for me, because he has the skill and the speed and he's physical, checks a lot of boxes. But if he's the inconsistent guy, then Craig's bang on in his fourth line. I could put Roslovic in my top six. Then I get another top six winger. Now, I think they're a top six. Now, maybe it's another center iceman. I guess so. Lots of teams are looking for center iceman, and it's just easier to get wingers. So, and that doesn't mean they're any less valuable, because there's some good damn wingers out there for sure. And so that would be, for me, a scoring winger, because as good as Nugent Hopkins is, he's not a scorer 5-on-5. Never has been. It's never been his wheelhouse, and that's okay. But why expect it now? Well, because I've had 6 good games in the regular season, guys. What? That's irrelevant to me. I want a guy who's going to score 5-on-5. And if Nuge makes my third line better, awesome. Because he can produce at a third line level, no question. Probably be an excellent third line production player. But first line 5-on-5 production's never really been a big goal scorer. So that's why I would consider it. Doesn't mean he can't play some shifts or even games with McDavid and Hyman again, but I would look at getting away. Fits me. 4:43. We got an hour and about 10 minutes to go. We're really close to filling out the pyramid of giving. We need 2 people at $200, 2 people at $500. It's Positive Friday. You want to step up now? Like I said, we can split up one of those 500s into 5 people at 100. So whatever you want to donate, 100, 200, 300, 4, 5, whatever, 833-401-1440. That's what we need to fill out the pyramid of giving. All-Star Construction is going to match it, which is awesome. We're helping out Adopt a Teen today. You can make a big difference in the lives of some teenagers going through a tough time. So 833-401-1440. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Cheer on the teams. Help a good cause. The Benz Cup is coming to the Ardrossan Recreation Center, December 26th to 30th. 100% of the proceeds help the Ben Stelter Foundation bring proton beam therapy to Edmonton. Learn more at benscup.com. Proudly supported by Sports 1440.
Ring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. With special guests Haley Benedict and Morgan Clyburn. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. Hosted by Chris Sheets. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
At GS Construction, we focus on building a culture of collaboration, innovation, and respect. Our teams work together, supporting one another and striving towards shared goals. We're committed to creating a work environment that empowers individuals, values teamwork, and ensures everyone feels respected and safe. With decades of experience in the field, GS Construction prioritizes our people, our culture, and safety. This is what makes us unique. To find out more, go to gsconstruction.ca.
Ho, ho, ho! 'Tis the season to find the perfect gift at the perfect price at Leduc Goldsmiths.
The annual Christmas sale is on now with 10 to 25% off all in-store products. All natural and lab-created diamond engagement rings up to 25% off with a wide selection available. You'll have no trouble finding the right piece. The team at Leduc Goldsmiths have years of expertise to help find what you need. Leduc Goldsmiths on Main Street, Leduc. Leduc's Jewelry Store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years.
Northwest Crane, available for your lifting and equipment needs. Specializing in selling and servicing cranes, get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday. Welcome back. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where lottery, instance, sports, casino, they got it all in one spot. Live dealer and Lotto Max tonight. $80 million and 23 Max Millions. Good luck. That would be a very Merry Christmas for someone. Oh my goodness. Would it share the wealth for sure with that. So good luck at PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick, where pre-Boxing Day prices are on. Maybe you don't want to get up early on Boxing Day. You're like, no, just want to relax. Well, guess what? Go to The Brick or thebrick.com right now, and you can get pre-Boxing Day savings right now on furniture, mattresses, appliances, some huge savings. Check it out. Only at The Brick.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys, question number 1. If it were your call, who's going to get the start in each of the next 3 games before the Christmas break for the Oilers between the pipes?
Well, now that Gregor's got me understanding the situation with Jarry, I would assume it's going to be an alternative Pickard, Ingram, Pickard. Jarry's not coming back.
No, Jarry's not going to play before Christmas. I guess it depends. I think the Tuesday game might depend on how guys play. I think how they play on the weekend. If one of the two really has a solid game, he's getting that game Tuesday. So, no question in my mind.
All right, question number 2. Look into your crystal ball here. Who are the Oilers' 2 goalies when the playoffs start this year?
Tristan Jarry will be 1. I don't know, man. They've had 3 goalies in the ECHL, right? Connor Unger was the one who got recalled. He's played on 3 different teams because just kind of moving them around because obviously you can't have 3 goalies in one ECHL city. So Connor Unger got called up there. He's played pretty well down in the ECHL. So I don't think they want, if they bring in another goalie, some goalies got to go out the other way if they still think that, Ingram, I think I can't answer the question accurately because I got to depend on how Ingram plays here down the stretch. I think how he performs while Jarry's out is going to determine if they think he's good enough or not.
They're making an ECHL goalie split his time among teams.
Yeah, well, they have 3 ECHL goalies, so some teams don't have a guy. So he bounces around. He's played 11 games for 3 different teams.
That's good. The ECHL is hard enough of a life.
Yeah.
To be playing like that, you're earning your stripes.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
I don't know. Cal Pickard's done everything asked of him in his time as an Oiler. Getting up last night and coming in for Jarry, put on a good performance. I hope it's Jarry and Pickard for the playoffs.
Okay.
Question number 3. A week away from Canada's pursuit for gold at the World Juniors, outside of Gavin McKenna, is there any player you're looking forward to watching in the tournament?
Connor, you know how I roll. I'm a big name guy. I only want the superstars. I'm really excited, actually, to see Gavin McKenna. And the fact you took that off the board, I contest.
I know you would be.
Are you excited to watch him, though, Gavin McKenna?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, juniors rule.
I'll go with Verhoff, the defenseman everybody's been talking about. So haven't got to see him a lot this year, so he'd be the guy I'm watching.
Question number 4. College football bowl season underway right now. Based off name alone, what would you say is the greatest bowl game of all time?
I was looking in the list you provided helpfully with the 5 questions, and the galleryfurniture.com bowl, that's a classic. The website's still live if you're looking for an ottoman.
Yeah, they got there's some weird names, man. Like I'm probably gonna go with just the I'm going with the salad bowl. Made me laugh. Eventually became the Fiesta Bowl, but I just like the original name, the salad bowl.
I got to give credit to the papajohns.com bowl.
Remember that era where they would throw .com on everything? That was a golden age.
Oh, yes. Like there is a lot of weird names for sure over like the Glass Bowl.
When corporate sponsorship started getting involved in bowl names, that's when it got good.
Beef O'Brady Bowl. That was a good one too.
The IBM OS2 Bowl when they rolled out the new operating system. It's not enough to say IBM. You need to get the product name in there.
Absolutely. You're paying all the money. You got to do it. Final question for you guys. Let's be greedy here. Don't hold back and give politically correct answers. We're a week away from Christmas. What are the top 3 things you want for Christmas?
Now, Gregor, he's putting this on a T, right? He said, don't be politically correct and say what you want.
You can't be like world peace, or it has to be like real things you want.
So when I say my list, don't anybody give me side eye, Jason Gregor, because Connor put it on a
it's
T.
your list. Sure, go ahead.
Connor McBaby. I want Lauren Kyle and Connor McDavid to have a baby in the new year, and that's what I want from Santa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what are the other 2? That's one.
A goalie with a .910 save percentage and an Oilers jersey that isn't a trick. And I'd like the Iceman to be returned from the Condors in mint condition.
3 things I'd want for Christmas. I would like the NHL to instill a no over and back rule in overtime. Overtime's great. It's becoming boring with the stupid going back all the time. So let's implement that. I would like them to get rid of the instigator rule. There's not enough fights anymore, so I don't think you have to worry about it. And I would like to see the Elks average 28,000 fans next season. So
that's a good wish. Connor?
I would like a year of hot tub maintenance. I would like a new Xbox or PlayStation, and I would like restaurant gift cards.
I'm wishing a new human being onto the planet, and you want
but
gift
it's not.
cards.
But that doesn't impact you. Hey, you didn't want anyone to mock yours. Like you want like someone else's child. That's a very weird wish.
It is a weird.
It has no impact in your life. It's very
huge
weird.
impact in my life.
How? How does it impact your life?
Oh my goodness! Imagine then they like do an unveiling, and then they're at the Misericordia Hospital. Like
do you know Connor McDavid?
I'd
You
like
think
to
he's
think
going to
so.
have an unveiling of his child? You won't see
Like
any
Prince
pictures
George.
of it, nor would they. Like if I was him, I'd be like, why would like I don't take pictures of my own kid on social media, and I'm like a nobody. Like if I was Connor McDavid, I was sure as hell wouldn't be sharing. Like there's weirdos out there.
This
about
is my
your kid.
Christmas wish.
Yeah, I know, but it's a terrible wish.
You just said you weren't allowed to say it was a bad
Yeah,
wish.
no, but you started. So once I'm defending Connor.
All right.
I mean, mine are realistic.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, them having sex is probably, fairly realistic.
Yeah.
It's 21 months
That's
from the
very
time of
true.
your wedding to a baby on average. 21 months. I looked it up. For Connor McDavid specifically.
21, that's the average
is
from
the
the time
average.
people get married to have their first child.
Yes.
So a year and 9 months.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's baby being born. We're talking.
Yeah,
that's real. Okay, oh,
that's not unrealistic.
Connor's doing the
I'm
math.
doing the math.
and
That's
it's
really accurate.
It's actually
Actually.
pretty close to this.
I looked it up.
Yeah, that is really.
I
close.
looked it up, and it wasn't for anybody I knew. I looked it up for Connor
Okay.
McDavid.
All right. That's got That's pretty much, I think, what mine was too.
It was like a month.
No, we lost the baby first, which a lot of people do, unfortunately. A little bit of you realize at the time, and it's definitely more normal than you think. But at the moment, you're pretty distraught about it. So, but you know what? We've talked to our son about that. But at the same time, then if that hadn't occurred, then he wouldn't have come about. So it's always, things happen for a reason. That's the way I look at it.
The plan was a one and done. That was it. Always only child plan.
No, there was never, that wasn't the plan, but there were some situations I'm not going to talk about why, but just became a family decision that would work out better for all parties. So I think that would be about it.
It's weird to talk to a little kid about how you might not exist if.
Well, I never say you wouldn't exist. I just say, you know what, if that hadn't happened, then, we might not have got you. So it works out perfect because still might have got him. You never know, but you don't, not at that time. It would have been physically impossible. I had one baby in June and then another one in December. Physically impossible.
I remember asking my parents, like, what happens if you never met? They're like, well, you wouldn't exist.
Yeah, that's
holy smokes.
Yeah,
I'm the star of the show. How could I not exist? I said.
It's true. It's very true. So we will see. Wanye, Connor Halley, Jason Gregor with you, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Scott just came in at 200 bones. So we are down to, we've never not filled out the pyramid of giving. So let's not start that trend today. So we're very close. We really only need 3 listeners. Now we can break it up if you want. So we can do a group effort. But I'll tell you what we need. We need one $200 donation and 2 $500. But I'm gladly split up the 500s into more 200s and 100s. It doesn't matter. As long as we get that extra $1,200 to fill out the pyramid. So 1s, 2s, 3s, 4, 5, whatever. But hey, if you want to make it quick and easy, 500, 200, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. And we have a special package we'll tell you about too in the final hour after Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet, Buick GMC. Yeah, they got a lot of winter tires. Get those, but they also have the Wish and Win. Some wish for a PlayStation, some wish for a baby. You could wish for $25,000 off your vehicle. Stop in. You're guaranteed to get $500 off, but you could get up to $25,000. NorthgateGM.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, the Edmonton Oilers have placed goaltender Tristan Jarry on IR. They've also recalled Connor Ingram from Bakersfield and moved Jack Rostovich to the LTIR. They're in action tomorrow, taking on Minnesota, then Vegas on Sunday. Tonight, you've got the Hurricanes taking on the Panthers. Islanders host the Canucks. Jets take on Colorado. Mammoth hosting the New Jersey Devils. And Dallas takes on Anaheim. In the association, Celtics and Heat. Sixers take on the Knicks. Spurs, Hawks. Cavs host the Bulls, and the Thunder head to Minnesota. And in the BCHL tonight, Spruce Grove in Brooks. That gets going just after 7. In the AJ, you've got 5 games, including Kodiaks and Calgary. Wolverines meet the Bobcats at Drayton Valley. Heads to Bonnieville. College football playoffs get going tonight. Number 8, Oklahoma hosting number 9, Alabama. That gets going in just over an hour. Earlier today, NC State knocked off Memphis 31-7. And you had Washington Huskies over Boise State 38-10. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Alan Mitchell, host of The Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tall Boy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. December is here. Christmas shopping, Christmas wrapping, Christmas baking, grocery shopping. What about our vehicle? Does it need tires? It's not running? No problem. We got you covered. At Northgate GM, we have a tremendous selection of newer used vehicles, winter tires at cost, and of course, service with a smile. Come in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action.
Stop at 4 o'clock.
Construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Boxing Week blowout starts early at the Brick. Find real Boxing Day prices early and beat the rush on the 26th.
Planning
Score
your
the
next
best deals on electronics and appliances.
1440
Plus, save up to $1,000 off sectionals. Buy more, save more. Up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Up to 40% off mattresses. And up to $500 off big screen TVs. Don't wait for the crowds. Shop the Brick's Boxing Week early access event. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
Oodle Noodle origin. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
I'm Gene Principe, bringing season's heatings from Legacy Heating and Cooling. For Yuletide comfort you'll love this Christmas. You should. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. There's no better way to fix your furnace. You just. Call Legacy. They're professional, never rude, Dolph. You should. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Plus, no interest and no prints of payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday, we roll through. You made it through the week. For some of you, you got kids maybe in the car. They're super pumped. Christmas break is here for the next few weeks. Oh, living large for all the kids. Doesn't matter how old you are. University students get some time off. Oh, live it up while you can, kids. Live it up while you can. Never take it for granted. It's awesome. Good times. Hopefully get the ODRs up and running here. Get a little puck and stick going on. Nothing better than a little Christmas time skates on the ODR. Dale came in, took one of the $500. We love it. Fred took one of the $200. And Ian came in, and Josh. So that puts us in, we're done the 100s. We're done. So we got 500 left. 1 5. Now we can always go more. It's the final Friday. the pyramid of giving. We always like to go a little bit more if we can. So 833-401-1440, but at least we need is 500. 1-500 or some multiple twos, 5 ones. It doesn't matter. Let's get to help it out. And All-Star Construction is going to match it. Puts us over 15,000, which will be fantastic. So 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Also, Evan is at $6,500 for the suite to the Oilers 12-seater with a $500 food and beverage, 2 parking passes for the 6th of January against the Nashville Predators. Okay, so if you want to get in on that, you can as well. 833-401-1440. But we really want to fill out the pyramid, so let's do it. If you can, text in. Very easy. 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And you know what? Hey, maybe you're looking for some good karma. You put in $100 or $200 or $500, and then you get a ticket to Lotto Max, $80 million or 23 Max Millions. I know a lot of you say, I'll just take $1 million. I don't need to be greedy. Man, what a life changer that would be. So good luck, PlayAlberta.ca, as we get to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. Hoping your pipes never burst. GS Construction. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, how are you, my man?
Awesome, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. It's a positive Friday. We're getting close to filling out the pyramid, so that is nice. Oiler fans, they're a little worried. The Jari injury. Hey, I'll say this: Jari came out. Pickard came in, was solid. The Oilers didn't give up a bunch in that game. It was really like Boston. I don't understand why they think, you know what, we're going to play passive, and they think that's going to, we're just going to sit back. We're not going to forecheck, and you're going to beat the Oilers. The LA Kings have proven 4 years in a row it doesn't work. I was stunned that they tried that last night. And Boston's a high-flying team. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, there was a point in the game where I said I was sitting next to Tony Brar in the press box in Boston, and I said to him, look, they forechecked, like when they tossed the puck in, they went and they tried to get it back and stuff. But when it was one of those situations where there was a change and the Oilers defenseman had time, they didn't press them at all. They stood at center ice. And I said to Tony, look, Tony, this looks like the LA Kings, just like you just said. So we're seeing the same thing. They're not. I guess I don't see Boston play enough in the certainly live to know what they've been doing all year, but they were selectively pressuring the Oilers last night. And I hate those teams line up center ice. I hate that brand of hockey. I always have. I've been consistent since Jacques Lemaire started doing it in New Jersey. I can't stand it. So that didn't, and I love when it doesn't win, because it just goes to show you shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Yeah, no, it's very, very true in that regard. So, you know what? The Oilers get a power play goal, they get a shorthanded goal, and they get a first NHL goal from Quinn Hudson. And you know what? Hey, that Hudson and Jones, man, that they created that from the corner, won the battle, and Hudson goes right to net and scores, and man, that's a huge fourth line goal for the Oilers.
And it wasn't their first good shift. You know, I think Jones had 4 shots on net last night in like 6.5 minutes. So, you know, the Oilers are unfolding. You know, they're unfolding into the team we thought. You know, their top 2 lines got settled. We know who they are. They're scoring. They're playing great. The power play now is what it's always been. I mean, it's been 45% in the last month. So it's all back to being the really good power play we're used to. And now we come on the radio, you and me, and we go, yeah, but what about their third and fourth line? And, well, you know, they finally got a fourth line goal last night. And, you know, it's still a little bit in flux because guys are coming and going. But they do have some guys in the depth forward roles that need to pick it up. You know, Enrique hasn't scored in a month, and Janmark in however long. But slowly, Jay, we're seeing a hockey team here that we're used to seeing. And you know, we can always find something to nitpick about. But I'll tell you what, big picture, look at their record, right? Their records are really good. They're I don't know what it is. Is it 7 of the last 9 or something? And they got a loser point mixed in there. So they're winning lots of games. They're getting lots of points. They're already 3-1 on this road trip, and it's not an easy road trip. I think maybe should stop nitpicking and just let them play for a while, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're 6-1-1 in their last 8. They played well. Now they go into Minnesota. The Oilers are hot. The Wild are hot. The Wild are a little bit banged up. The Oilers got some injuries, but hey, who's ever there, we'll see. But, the Wild defense, Brodin, like that's an advantage, I think, for the Oilers. Obviously, Quinn Hughes is really good, but Jonas Brodin's one of those few defensive defenders spec that's had some success against McDavid.
Yeah, always. We watched it night after night. Because he can skate so well, right? Because he can skate so well and defend. Like there are guys like, I don't know, I'm going to give you, say, a Carlson who can skate really well, but he doesn't defend McDavid that well. But Brodin's a great mix. He's a really strong defender, and he really has great boots. So, you know what? There's a couple guys around the league that have confidence against McDavid, and good for them, Good for them. And McDavid, I'm sure he can list those guys off as fast as you and me can. But I don't know if I heard he was questionable, is I think what we heard Brodin for tomorrow. And what does that mean in hockey? It means they tell you when the game starts. So everybody's beat up here. I mean, look at Jari. The Oilers are going in with Pickard, and Ingram's going to back up. I assume Pickard played them all. What do you think?
I'm guessing it's Pickard tomorrow, and then you're going to see Connor Ingram against Vegas on Sunday.
Yeah, I would think so too. So you know what? Let's take a look at Ingram. Like his numbers, two things for me on Ingram. His numbers in Bakersfield obviously aren't very good, but he's played a bunch down there now. Like he's been down there a while. It's time to give an NHL start. He's had lots of NHL time. He's not a guy that's going to be freaked out by playing an NHL game. He's played in the NHL a ton in his life. Let's take a look at him. It's probably time to see what he looks like in an Oilers uniform and see him, with our own eyes and, take it from there, man. Let's see where this Connor Ingram project's at these days.
Well, yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to know. The American League numbers are difficult if you just look at save percentage. Like you look at that last game, it was old fashioned. It was like a men's league game. I know he allowed 7 goals. They did win the game 8-7. But I watched that game, Spec, and there was at least 5, maybe 6 that I would say, I don't really blame the goalie on. Like there's, you're going backdoor tap ins. I don't blame the goalie on that. Now there's other games where he hasn't been where he'd like to be. But hey, you know what? We'll see how he responds here. You know what? If Jari's like, who knows how long Jari's going to be out? If it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know what? Ingram's going to get a few starts. It's just how it goes. Now, how many is going to depend on his play and probably a little bit on Pickard's play.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I don't sense that the Jari thing is that everybody's panicking with this thing. My sense from talking to the people I talked to after the game last night in Boston, and I flew home this morning, so I'm not with the team. It's actually a weird day today, Jay. They had a players' day off. They announced it right after the game last night, and they got to Minnesota, and then a bunch of players went out and skated anyway. And I think it's because it's about minus 25 with a wind chill in St. Paul, and there's nothing to do. So David and Draisaitl and all the boys said, forget it. Let's go for a skate. What the hell else are we going to do? But I don't sense that Jari is, there's no surgery happening here is my understanding.
No.
And so, you never know. Like we've had, there's been a lot of injuries where they go, oh, well, I'm going to be back in a week, and he's back in a month. So, don't take what I sense as a gospel. But I feel like when the Christmas break is over, they may be there. Right now, the hope is that he might be able to play pretty shortly thereafter.
Yeah, probably a strain is what the sounds of it is. And, you hope it's not too long. Actually, I thought he played pretty well in that game, although it wasn't tested a ton. The Oilers, I thought, played a pretty solid game. And I'll say this, Spec, it's a small sample size, but man, Spencer Stastny has been really good. Really good.
He has been good, hasn't he? And there's a guy that, don't know anything about. I watched him play, 4 games now on that road trip. Did he play in Toronto? Is that where he started? Yeah, it was because the trade happened right before Jari played.
Yeah.
So, yes, 4 games. And you know what? Like, he's getting a little better each night. He's showing a little more confidence. Now they put him on the right side. That's not an easy task for a guy to jump to the wrong side. And, every game, like I'm thinking back at how many breakaways or how many bad plays happened because 24 misplayed the puck. And I really can't think of any off the top of my head. So, he's got big shoes to fill. Kulak's steady Eddie, man. We all like Kulak, and we all know how his game rose when the pressure got higher and the stakes got higher. So too did Brett Kulak play better. Like, that was a given. So this guy's, so far he's on a path to being an adequate replacement. How about that?
Well, he's looked really good. Now, playoffs is where Kulak excelled, so we'll never know until then. But I think his puck skills are a little bit better than Kulak's, and right now he looks a little bit quicker, right? Like, he gets the pucks fast. I like how he jumps up in the play. He moves,
really skates,
and really skate. And he makes smart plays. He's confident with the puck, and he's looked really good. He's kind of looked like everything. I had a few scouts tell me they were surprised that Nashville traded him away for a third rounder. Now, they can say Nashville has a lot of bodies, but okay, sometimes you trade away the wrong guy. Now, you come to certain teams, and when you're on a good team, lots of guys can look better on a good team. That's just how the truth. So, his speed probably stands out. Edmonton's playing better hockey right now. McDavid's, his game is world class right now. You look at that shorthanded goal, like he is. It's funny. Like, McDavid's got 10 goals here in the last 8 games. Like, there's people early in the season. Oh, he's got a core injury, can't shoot. Which I was like, what are you talking about? He can shoot fine. He just wasn't shooting. Now he's shooting, and he is taking pucks. Like, he is not afraid to shoot the puck. And man, he's on a tear. Him and McKinnon right now. There's a little bit of separation. Although that youngster Celebrini is coming too. He's nipping at their heels a little bit.
Yeah, no, McDavid's his confidence right now is through the roof. Like, I wish I could have had a pause button when he took that wicked great pass from Nugent Hopkins and hit the blue line. Like, if I could have hit pause and made a bet that he was going to score, I would have, because it was like money. You just thought, okay, this, some guys, you just know what's going in. And in that moment, I was writing that goal down as he was coming across the blue line with it. I always marvel at how even the greatest players can lose their confidence. Even a Connor McDavid's confidence can go a little bit on him, and he doesn't play well, and pucks don't go in, and he passes when he should shoot, and he shoots when he should pass. And I always think, how can such a great player lose his confidence? Well, right now the opposite is true. He's a great player, and his confidence couldn't be higher. And this is as good a Connor McDavid. I'm going to say, Jay, in regular season, have we ever seen a better Connor McDavid than we've been watching the last 6-7 games? I'm not sure I can even think of one.
Oh, the 2021 season, man, or even the 22 season when he had like the 153 points. He was wild there. Like, he had that stretch the last 30 games of the season. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, he is definitely
good anyway.
Yeah, no, that's why. It was early December, late November, and people were, oh, McDavid, he's reached his peak. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? Have we not, I don't know why the rush is to want to write off and be the first guy to say, oh, the demise is starting now. And I'm just like, give me a break. So
what's the rush?
He's good.
There's no demise
McKinnon's really good. They got some young guys coming. The orders, they played well. I don't know if there'll be any lineup changes. My question would be, would you put Regula right back in, but would you play him with Nurse, or would you keep Stastny there? But then you're playing 2 righties together. So you're probably just, if Regula's back in, he's just going right in with Nurse, right?
I think so, yeah. I think you put Stastny back on the left side with Emerson. They were fine. I didn't even mind the game that Stillman played last night. He was part of a team that almost scored. He was part of a team that allowed 1 goal, and he only played about 9 minutes, but he was just fine. He wasn't any kind of, all of a sudden I look at that player and I looked him up before the game. I think he's played 175 games or something like that. I'm not that familiar with him. He's that name you see around the league, but do you ever watch him play when he came through town? He's always somebody's 5th or 6th defenseman. But, all of a sudden I look at that player and I go, there's a pretty viable number 7. Like, there's a pretty viable Troy Stetcher. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, potentially. Like, Stetch played over 500 games and is a highly competitive guy. Yeah, for sure.
But, I'm just saying, I'm not telling you he's the exact same player, but you need a veteran guy at a 7 that can step in and not be freaked out by the moment. And this guy's got, like I say, over 150 games under his belt. He can come in. He's not freaked out by the moment. He's not a bad-looking defenseman. You can use him. You can always use a 7th guy around because someone's always blocking a shot and getting hurt.
That is very, very true. Speck, have a good weekend. What happens for the orders this weekend?
Well, it's good. I mean, I haven't even looked at the numbers. I spent a whole day on a plane here, but my recollection is Minnesota's a hard place for them. They don't win a lot in there.
Hey, why do
as I recall, right? Am I right when I say that? I think I am. But they've been awfully good at home, and they'll come home and play Vegas, and I think they'll rise to the moment. And I also, one thing I would say to you is if they're going to play Ingram on Sunday night, I'll bet you they give him a really strong defensive effort in front of them. And when the Oilers are at home and focused on playing a proper defensive game, they usually win. So I'll give you a loss and a win. How about that?
A split. All right, Spec. Well, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy shoveling, and we will talk to you on Monday.
All right. Thanks, Jake.
There you go. That's Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Let's take a quick break, and we got about a half an hour left. Okay, we need $400, 100, 200, 300, 400. That's all we need to fill out the pyramid. 833-401-1440. So 4 people at 100, 1 at 4, 2 at 2. You do the math, however we want. And let's get that to help adopt a teen. We've always filled out the pyramid of giving. It's Positive Friday. It's good vibes. So if you can help out 4 of you at $100, boom, we'll get there. You get a tax receipt for it. Joyce and Deb and their team at Adopt a Teen are ready to talk to you. So all you got to do is text in your name and your number, 833. Well, your number comes up. So just put in your name and the amount you want, 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440 on a Positive Friday. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text CREDIT to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Ever had a problem returning auto parts? At Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, we do things differently. Hi, it's Lisa, and we're proud to offer one of the best return policies in the business. When you shop with us, you buy with confidence, knowing that if it doesn't fit or if it's not the right part, we'll make it right. For nearly 50 years, Ed's Auto Salvage has helped Alberta drivers save money, stay on the roads, and shop stress-free. Trust the team that stands behind every part we sell. Visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperatures dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order when you use promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
$527. Positive Friday. Oh, man. I love our listeners. You're the best. Awesome. So many generous people out there. Roger came in at 200. Samuel came in at 400. Don came in at 400. We had Fish in at $100. Jen came in at $100. Carolyn at $200. Wazzy came in at 100 bones. So guess what? We filled up the pyramid and even more on a wonderful Positive Friday. So thank you very. Hey, we always, you know what? I like to do the math in my head now. Now we're into bonus time. So if we get $300 more, we'd get to $16,500 for the day for the adopted teen, which is absolutely amazing. Because by my math, we were looking for $7,500, but in that little splurge there, we went over. And plus, we got the $7,500 from All-Star Construction to match the pyramid. And so we had $16,200. So $300 more between now and the top of the hour. We get to $16,500. Or heck, even $17,000 for $800. But we don't need to be greedy. $300. I like round numbers. $16,500. That would be fantastic. Be one of the best pyramid of givings. So I like it.
What's the daily record?
Well, one year we had two people match the pyramid. So one year we did like 22,500.
So how did you do that? You made somebody match somebody else's matching of
No.
the
Like they
sum?
both offered to match the 7,500. Kind of came in at the same time. I was like 100%. I'm not going to say no. And I told them, I said, well, somebody else. No, we'll do it. So they both did it.
Unreal.
Yeah. So that was a great day for sure. Every day is great when you can help out and help others. So thank you very much. So yes, if we'd like to get to $300 more, that would be great. So if you can spare $100, $200, $300, that would be awesome. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. As we are going to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings. Solar for either your home or your commercial building. They do it both at actionelectrical.net. The host of The Lowdown, noon until 2. Fresh wavy hair. He's got his new trendy glasses. Watching closely as he writes 6 articles a day, as well as hosting. LT joins us. LT, how you doing?
I'm very well. I'm in the Christmas spirit now. I haven't had a Crown Royal and ginger ale yet, but I'm working up to it. Yeah.
Crown and ginger. Is that the go-to for the LT man?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's I used to have Southern Comfort and 7, but it gave me a headache. So I go with ginger ale and Crown Royal now.
Okay. I like that. I can get on board with that. Are you at all like an eggnog, like a spice rum guy?
Not really. I will Christmas morning because everybody seems to like that, but that's the only time. I'm not really I like, I like scotch. I would rather have scotch than any of those, kind of fancy drinks that are kind of like if I'm going to have something like that, I'll have a brown cow, which is a nice drink.
Oh yes, yeah, I like that. It's pretty good. Awesome. Yep. Al, give me your thoughts on the game last night.
Well, I think the Oilers are always being criticized for not playing well against games or teams that are in the playoffs or have good records. Bruins are a good team. And they got a shorty, they got a power play goal, and they got an even strength goal. I thought they played well, and I don't think Boston had a lot of chances. The defense to me played well enough, and I think the goaltending was stout, and I liked the lines. I thought Frederic played well. Yes. I thought the Henrique line played well. I think. I just think this team is coming together, and sometimes it's like sometimes a trade or whatever can sort of change the mindset a little bit. And I think in December this team has decided to not even decided they've just been able to mentally start performing at a level that we would recognize, and they look good to me. Honestly, against the Bruins, I watched the Bruins a lot. Bruins are having a really good year. I thought the Bruins looked really ordinary against the Oilers.
LT, everything you say I take as gospel truth. And a few weeks ago, we were talking about Connor McDavid declining ? And I panicked when you said it immediately. I'll have you know. I panicked and I went and looked at all my McDavid jerseys. I said, is it time to maybe start buying another player? No. And I wonder on the 19th of December if you think that the decline of Connor McDavid is now over.
Well, I often write and I often say that, betting against McDavid is a bad idea, and then I didn't listen to my own self. The numbers were poor in October. That's my only defense. But he's a ridiculous talent. I mean, he just looks faster now, hand-eye, everything. Maybe it's that Hyman returned, or Nugent Hopkins is on the line now, or maybe he just wasn't 100% right. I don't know, but I think that. He was getting the power play numbers before. I was worried about the 5-on-5 play. The 5-on-5 play has really improved. The outscoring has improved. He's he's scoring a lot at 5-on-5. So I'll pull the shoot on that one. I can't delete all the articles, but I will tell you that the next time I do that, just find me and slap me, because it'll do me a favor.
2 years ago, Tyler Yaremchuk tweeted, "This is the beginning of the end of the Connor McDavid era." And Rick, our contemporary at Oilers Nation, said that he went and watched a house in his neighborhood get torn down by a backhoe, and he thought about the end of Connor McDavid's career. And he's like, it's been the most dark moment I've had as an Oilers fan in the Connor McDavid era. So at least you're not watching houses get torn down yet.
Well, he is like the thing about McDavid is, when I was young, I watched the 80s Oilers, and I wish I could say, I knew to, hold every frame in my mind's eye and cherish it, but I didn't. I thought they'd win every year, and I thought they'd be there forever, and I thought they'd win 15 Stanley Cups because I was a fool and I was young. With McDavid in this era, I try very hard to hold all of this wonderful hockey in my own mind. I mean, the goals blur because they're also brilliant, or at least most of them are. But this is a very special player. And I mean, he skates so well. He's going to skate forever. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. But the hand-eye was a concern. It's back. No need to tear down buildings or, take the dog to the, to the pound or anything like that. It's all good. It's all good. And I think that this team is coming around. I wondered about the young players, but it looks like Savoy's coming on now. I think Frederic's coming on a little bit. Hyman being back is huge. And you know what? I think Wallman, I read Gregor's report on Twitter today, so it's going to be a while longer, but I do think he's going to be key here in the second half.
Well, yeah, 100% when he gets back in, no question. I think he would be a big boost for their team. And then there's going to be some competition, right? Like is Regula, I'm not sold that he's better than Emerson right now. So they'll probably back and forth. I think he's got elements of his game that are better, but some guys will rise to the occasion of the competition. So we'll see how that goes. The Oilers are, you think about these young guys this year. Draisaitl Although he didn't get an assist on the goal last night. He was on the ice, though, for a lot of guys' first goals in the NHL this year, including Quinn Hudson. And you know what? I'm not, hey, when you get Rosovic and Kapanen and, you know, there's just not enough room for everybody. I get it. But, and I do understand, like, hey, there's guys who have longer term contracts and no move deals and all those sorts of things. But, you know, like Quinn Hudson's looking like a guy that they say, hey, this is a college free agent signing that might turn out to be a player that can help you down the road.
Yeah, he's not overwhelmed at all. And we know, you know, the guys come up and they you know, it takes them a while. They don't touch the puck very much. I remember when Rob Schremp got here, you know, he had all kinds of great numbers in the AHL, but he didn't touch the puck as much as you'd want him to. Hudson, you know, I mean, he's just a guy. He's 23. We don't know anything about him, but you know, he's not afraid. He's confident. He goes to the net. I love that he went to the net on that play, but he made some nice passes. And I mean, I don't know where he's going. They you know, their right wing is pretty stacked, I think, you know, when everybody's healthy, but he is not overwhelmed by the moment, and he's pretty smart. And so I know he's not a big guy, and you can't have too many of those smaller type wingers, but I really like him. I think he's shown well, a very small sample size, obviously, but he's shown well.
Yeah. You look ahead to the Minnesota Wild, Al, and they got Quinn Hughes now. Something they've never had a real dynamic defenseman in their franchise history. If you go back, even in the salary cap era, which is 20 years now, their highest scoring D-man in 1 year is the lowest of any team, 51 points. Ryan Suter did it twice. Now you got Quinn Hughes, and that's going to add a big different element that they've really never had as an organization. And I think, like, I know they're banged up tomorrow, but him and Faber are going to play a ton. They're probably going to see McDavid. There is no Brodin. It doesn't sound like anyway. So that could be an advantage for Edmonton. But what do you make of the Wild now that they have Hughes in that Central Division? How close are they to Dallas and Colorado?
Well, I think they're closer. We'll find out. But I love the deal for Minnesota. I think Bill Guerin has done a fantastic job. You know, every time in the offseason, I'd looked at Minnesota for years. It was like, what are they going to do with those big damn contracts? Well, they finally got rid of them, and now they're able to spend some money, and they're spending it wisely. And I know they gave up a lot, but who cares? You know, they're the number one thing a team like the Oilers has to do is avoid finishing in the last spot in the wild card and then having to play in that bracket, because it'll be insane. But I think what the Wild did was they identified an area that, as you said, you know, they didn't have a lot of strength in that area, and they went out and got the player, and they got the player early enough for him to be able to gel with the rest of the group. And you know, their goaltending looks good. Their defense is very mobile, and they've got some terrific scorers too. I think that they're probably third in the division, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won in the first round against Dallas, and then against Colorado. I mean, the Avalanche have looked all year like, you know, the 77 Montreal Canadiens with their one-loss record, but you never know. And the Minnesota Wild, if you look at their history, they really haven't won that many playoff rounds over 25 years, I guess. So this is an opportunity, and it should be exciting for Minnesota fans. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Minnesota Wild can do.
Well, they might finally shed that boring title, because they got some skilled players, man. Hughes is skilled. Kaprizov is skilled. You know, I like that young Russian forward that they got. Yurov as a center iceman. They got some players coming, and I'll give Bill Guerin a lot of credit. He's you know what, he's taking some swings for sure, and we'll see what happens.
As long as he doesn't hire Jacques Lemaire to coach, I think they're going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's totally fair, Al. Al, have yourself an awesome weekend. We'll recap the orders on Monday on your show.
Beautiful. Look forward to it. Have a great weekend, guys.
There you go. That's Alan Mitchell, a.k.a. Low Tide. 5:39. So, man, we need $200. That's all we need to get to $16,500 for the day to help out Adopt a Teen. That is amazing, amazing stuff. So anybody, two people at $100, somebody at $200, we'll get to $16,500 on a positive front. Plus, we got the $6,500 for the sweet Connor Halley. So that'd be 23 in one day. Pretty damn good. 200 shy of 23,000 today. So 833-401-1440. If you want to help us get to 23,000 one day, that's unbelievable. 833-401-1440. We'll return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tallboy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksYEG.com.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right. So Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. And ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free. And the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery. Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. December is here. Christmas shopping, Christmas wrapping, Christmas baking, grocery shopping. What about our vehicle? Does it need tires? It's not running? No problem. We got you covered. At Northgate GM, we have a tremendous selection of newer used vehicles, winter tires at cost, and of course, service with a smile. Come in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EWL. Get your power play amped up with EWL, supplying the City of Champions and Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. EWL.ca is your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Yeah, we got a Positive Friday. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where if you want to use the Jason Gregor Show odds boost, you can. On the site, you'll see it under sports. And we got an NFL one for you. We got an Oiler Wild one for you. So you can go check that out, get some odds boosts, and good luck at PlayAlberta.ca. Of course, the Oilers, man, they try to go 4-1 on the road trip. That would be a massive end. Even if they could squeak out a point, would be good. But yeah, 2 points would be massive. They do find themselves today anyway, 2 points out of first place in the Pacific Division. Now, Vegas does have 3 games in hand. They are going to face Vegas on Sunday night. Vegas is in Calgary tomorrow to take on the Flames. So both teams will be playing back-to-back. A little bit more travel for Edmonton, but The Oilers will be home in Edmonton before Vegas's game is even over in Calgary. So, the rest, I talked to some people today that they say, you know what, hey, that afternoon game in Minnesota, and you gain an hour coming back. So there'll be some advantages there for the Edmonton Oilers. And then you take on Vegas, and then you have Calgary before the holiday break, and then they play Calgary again coming out of it. It's a back-to-back with 3 days of Christmas cheer in between. Of course, you play them Tuesday in Edmonton, then we'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and then they're in Calgary on the 27th. And then the Oilers, you get into January, and they have a pretty good slate of home games. Like the Oilers, they go to Calgary and Winnipeg on Saturday and Monday. Then they're home. They have the Boston Bruins on New Year's Eve to ring in 2026. Then the Flyers, and the Predators. Then they're on the road for one game against the Jets. It's kind of a weird schedule. They're Jets, then they go back home to LA, then they go on the road for 2 games, then the Islanders at home, then at Vancouver, and then from the 18th of January till the end of the month, they're not on the road. They don't even have to leave the province because the only road game they have is in Calgary. So that's they get a lot of rest coming up. They'll start to see more Pacific Division teams. They haven't seen a lot of those teams, and I'm not sure the Pacific Division is that great depth-wise. Like the Oilers are good. I think the Oilers are very good. I still think Vegas is pretty good. The Ducks have improved a lot, but the Sharks are a gritty, more competitive team. But Seattle, I don't think is very good. I don't think Calgary is very good. Vancouver, now Vancouver on this road trip so far has played well, but I'm still not like the Canucks have been the proverbial underachiever. But they've had a good start tonight. They're 3-0 in Long Island. Kiefer Sherwood has 2 goals, and David Camp has scored his first as a member of the Canucks. Jordan Staal has his 10th. The Hurricanes lead the Panthers 1-0 as well in the early games. Hey, we're $200 shy. Does anybody want to come in and be the hero to get us to $16,500 for Adopt a Teen? We also have $6,500 for the suite from Evan, and that's going to the Christmas Bureau. So $200 gets us to $23,000 for the day. So if you can help out, that would be fantastic. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Just 200, 2 guests, 2 listeners at $100 each. It's minor stuff. Now, I also should mention Monday we're going to do something we've never done before on the month of giving. It's kind of like Mystery Monday, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think many of you will like it. Lots of different packages, not big ones really, but small. Well, they all add up pretty quickly, but some unique ones for sure. I think people are going to like, from food to activities to events. So that's coming up on Monday. But if you're looking to make a donation, $100 or $200 to get us to our 23 grand, that would be fantastic. 833-401-1440. You can text or call us to get that in. Let's get to Wanye's World now. Brought to you by EWL, your partner in power since 1975. For all your electrical gear, think EWEL.ca.
There's a lot of exciting hockey on tap coming up between the World Juniors, the Winter Olympics.
Yep.
And that will lead nicely into a stretch run by the Oil and hopefully a third Cup appearance final. I'm wondering, what storylines are you looking forward to seeing at the Olympics this year? I mean, I'm really excited for one. They're able, hopefully there's no chicanery with the arena in Milan.
Yeah, I think it'll probably at the end of the day end up being just fine. But
Connor getting to wear the Olympic jersey to me is extremely exciting.
Well, he'll be excited for sure. Like the Olympics is a big deal. Like Leon Draisaitl for Germany, he's gonna, his dad played for. I talked to Peter, of course. I did that article with for Leon for his 1,000 point recently, and I've talked to Peter about the Olympics, and he was very excited for his son to get to. He was like, it's pretty rare, man. Like I knew what the Olympics is. It's hard to explain until you get there. And he actually said, he goes, I really hope they get to experience the village, because when he went to the Olympics, like experiencing the village was one of the greatest experiences of his life, he said.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like it's just, you meet so many athletes, and like, you're there in your country and somebody in bobsleigh wins and the whole village is going crazy, right? Like there's just lots of excitement around it. And he says, like, it's just, you're always part of a team, but now you're part of like your country's team. And he just said it was a big deal. So, and I remember talking to Sidney Crosby about 2010, and kind of what it meant to him there too. So that was pretty awesome.
Oh,
So,
That's crazy. The golden goal is 16 years ago. Don't you think?
You still want to do the donation?
yeah, it is kind of wild.
When you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
What other
Okay,
story
what
are
was
you
your
looking
name?
forward to seeing at the Olympics?
Well, I'm kind of curious to see if the Canadian women can catch the American women, because right
fantastic.
now
And
Team
can I just
USA
get your
just
phone
looks
number, Catherine?
faster and better for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see about that. And then well, I love all the downhill skiing. Right, I like the moguls. I've really gotten into those short track speed skating. Like there's almost any sport, man. Like figure skating, I always watch. I'm amazed by it. Just the athleticism they're always pushing, like in any sport, to get better. But yeah, short track speed skating, even speed skating itself is like it's unreal, man. Like I love just watching high level athletes compete. And when it's the best of the best, it's great.
Do you guys want some good news or some great news?
Sure, let's go.
So Catherine did come in at 200.
Okay.
So you got there. But just before that, Terry said, hey, what does the 200 get you guys to total?
23.
And he said, why don't we make that 25?
He's
donated 2,200.
2,200?
2,200 from Terry.
Terry, you're a beauty. I love it. And Kirk from the Parks in at 200. So now we're even at 25 too. That might be a new record for one day on the show.
Unreal.
That is unbelievable. Terry, I love it. Awesome. And Kirk from the park. And who did the because
Catherine did 200 as well.
Oh man. So that is fantastic. So I love it. So that is an ultra positive Friday. So thank you very much. Thanks to everybody today, man. From the $100 starting out, I think Allison and Aaron were the first two at 100, and Conrad, and then Todd at 500, and Sean at 1,000, and Pearl, and all the way up, All-Star at 1,000. Now we got 2,000s and 200s, and it's that's what's great about our listeners and our audience is everybody comes together to help out others. And I hope that you sit down tonight, you can cheers. Have a cheers to yourself or your family and say, we're in a good position that we could help others, because that is something we should never take for granted. And for those, I know lots of people who can't, that's okay. Just listening and no one ever complains when we sometimes talk a little bit about the charity stuff. So no one ever complains, and that's fantastic. So thank you all so much. We look forward to, and I'm looking forward to Monday. I think it'll be a fun show.
No sneak peek of what the mystery is going to be?
It's just little. That's why we call it Mystery Monday.
Wow.
Mystery Monday.
Could be anything.
Well, there's lots of different packages. Yes. I'm going to say from food to entertainment to athletics. It's all kind of mixed in. And then it'll be up to you on what you want. But will you get what you want? That's why it's a mystery. All right? It's a little bit of fun. On behalf of Declan Kruger, Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, I'm Jason Gregor. Thanks, everyone, so much for listening all weekend long, for watching the show at Oilers Nation and Sports 1440 YouTube, X, Instagram. Love it. YouTube. Hey, if you go to our YouTube page, be sure to hit the subscribe button. The more we get, the better we can do for you. So check it. That could be a very Merry Christmas. Costs you nothing. For those that say, hey, Greg, I can't donate, that's okay. You know what you could do? You could hit the subscribe button for free at Sports 1440 on YouTube. That would be awesome. Let's get to the con man. And a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. Your next dinner is ready at Loca Quality Gourmet Meals. You can order them online, meals.loca.ca. Ready to eat, heat, and repeat. Meals.loca.ca. Good night.
The Sports 1440 update.
The Edmonton Oilers making some roster moves today, placing Tristan Jarry on the IR. With that, they recalled goaltender Connor Ingram from Bakersfield and moved Jack Roslovic to the LTIR. They're in action tomorrow, taking on Minnesota, and Sunday hosting Las Vegas. In the NHL tonight, great start for the Canucks. After 20 minutes, they lead 3-0. And out in Florida, Panthers trail the Hurricanes 1-0. Later tonight, Jets take on the Avs, Mammoth up against the Devils, and the Stars in Anaheim in the Association. 5 games tonight, 4 underway. In the second quarter, Heat up on the Celtics 49-42. The Knicks lead the Sixers 40-36. Hawks at home trail the Spurs 19-25. And Bulls cap side at 13. Later tonight, Thunder taking on the Timberwolves. In the BCHL, Spruce Grove in Brooks taking on the Bandits. That one will start at 7. AJ, you've got 5 games. Kodiak's in Calgary. Wolverines meet the Bobcats, and Drayton Valley heads to Bonnyville. Those games getting going at 7. And college football playoffs beginning tonight. Number 8, Oklahoma, hosting number 9, Alabama. That one gets going in about 5 minutes' time. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Up next, it is Fox Sports Radio. Live local coverage resumes tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with the Saturday Sports Setup, followed by Hoop City with Paul Sir and pregame coverage with Donovan Paulson. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio.